Now we're
That's some true like maniac shit. Taking pictures of your computer.
You could have just done it on your notes.
Yeah, well, now we're doing what's like pre-roll right now.
Yeah.
All right, it's just we'll
kind of bullshit.
Yeah, kind of
You're
bullshit.
kind of like the host.
I guess. Yeah,
Like, we're just
I'm
like-
Terry Gross. I'm Terry
Yeah,
Gross.
you can, and what I'll say is, any of the four of us, if we feel like we should kind of get to the next, especially the three of us, like
Jump
kinda
on
just,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
keep
all right, let's
moving.
get it moving. Yeah.
Okay. If we're recording, then let's jump in. This is the inaugural episode of Axe to Grind. It's a hardcore podcast.
A hardcore podcast.
Yeah, we decided that we didn't have niche enough lives filled with conversations about things that normal people don't relate to. So we decided to take it one step further.
Yeah. Let's get in the room with some microphones and talk about something that very few people care about.
Right, and let's do a little intro. My name's Patrick. My bona fides here is I'm not in hardcore bands. I'm just always in bands that play hardcore shows.
This is Bob, and I have worked at record labels and done shows and this, that, and the other for way too long.
Shore style?
Shore style.
All right. I'm Tom. I was in 2 hardcore bands.
From New York.
From Brooklyn. I will not name them in case you want to beat me up after this podcast.
Oh, we'll address that in a short while.
We'll go for that.
And our guest.
I'm Sebastian. I'm playing Regulate from Long Island.
Okay. So Seb is here as a guest to counterbalance what might otherwise be an old guy show.
Right. I'm pretty sure of the other 3 of us, I'm the youngest, and I just turned 36.
That's
so
fucked up, man.
That's fucked up.
And as the guest, I'm not going to make my co-hosts reveal their ages. Your age is?
I just turned 22.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Okay, so
Wow.
here's the notion, right? Here's the presupposition, is that there is a generational divide. Let's say that hardcore turns over every 5 years, maybe even less now. So there's a generational divide where you might have the same touchstones as us in terms of, maybe everybody at the table is an Agnostic Front fan, right?
Yes.
But there are going to be things that you are into that we don't have a fucking clue about.
Sure.
And that is your role. You could talk on anything you want today, but your general job here is to check us when we fall off an old guy cliff into an old guy pit and are just going down deeper and shitting on young people's stuff. Check us.
And say, yo,
Ready.
that's some old man shit. Stop.
I do it constantly.
All right, so on this inaugural, also year-end episode, the notion is that we're going to be given our best of 2017. In general, this year kind of sucked, and I don't mean from a music perspective, just in life. Life sort of sucked this year, unless one of you had a huge opportunity come into your hands or some shit. It was just kind of an ass year. But musically, there was a couple high points, and we'll talk about those. We'll also talk about what we're looking forward to going into 2018, and also just sort of the general kind of like best of fuckery, like best. We'll make up slots as we go
We'll
along.
go for that. And, all right. Give the premise. The name of the podcast is Axe to Grind. Give it to us.
Okay, so here's the idea. It's almost impossible, whether you're a promoter, whether you're in bands, whether you do a label, it's almost impossible to go any length of time in a super niche music scene without developing some biases, some enemies, some beefs. And we would like this space to be a place where you can trust our opinions in at least that we believe them. So anytime that somebody's got an agenda, a bias, a beef, that goes for the hosts and the guests, they can still say their opinion. Let's say, for example, the hot water music. Let's say that hot water music popped my bicycle tire in 1998, and I'm real mad about this. And it's colored my view of that band since then. And we start talking about hot water music, and I go, sucks. I am obligated as a member of this show to jump in and say, okay, hold on, pause. I got an axe to grind. Sucks. And it's just our way of saying, take it with a grain of salt what I'm about to say,
Right.
because it's colored by some experience that I got or some sort of highly specified agenda that I got. Like, let's say that I hate the metalcore revival and nothing in it pleases me. I'm just angry about it. I'm a bitter old man. I got to front and just say, up front, I got to say, listen, I got a little axe to grind here. I'm a bitter old troll.
And spell it out or not, maybe the point of Axe to Grind is to let you know we're going to give you our honest opinions, And if for some reason we have a personal feeling against it, we're going to let you know that, hey, still listen to me. You like what I like. You might still think this shit sucks, but I'm going to give you a heads up. This shit sucks because I have some shit, not just this shit sucks because I heard it and it's garbage.
Yeah, there might be some baggage. That could be ideological or that could be personal. Now, the other thing that we should address up front is we're all adults. We're not getting in a fist fight over this. If you are a sensitive person and you don't understand how music works and that people got opinions, turn the fucking podcast off. Don't talk to your friends about the podcast because it's not for you. We're going to be clowning on people. It's a good-natured clownery unless it isn't. And you'll be able to tell, unless you're a fucking moron, the difference between good-natured clownery and fucking shitting on somebody. And we'll try to check each other against pure shitting on because that's not the vibe we're looking for. But if we're... Here's the thing, especially you young fucks. If somebody's talking about you, even if they're shitting on you, what it is doing ultimately is motivating other people to check you out. You should thank me. You should drop me a line and say, hey, more people listen to our fucking Bandcamp, our Spotify, etc. because you shit on me. Thanks, word up.
Thanks for the shout out, asshole.
Right. Now, and I am not, if you make me get in a fight as a grown man over something I said on a podcast,
Next.
I look at this as a group text come to life. You know, you have that chat where everyone just talks shit.
It's every single one.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. So, again, if you're sensitive about your music, pick up a different hobby. Drop out of music, do something else because
50% of the people are going to hate it.
Yeah, 50%.
No matter
I
what.
mean,
Well-
I've been a musician forever now, and I can say confidently, 80% of people hate what I do.
Sure.
Okay,
All right, enough. Let's go.
let's go. All right, you want to lead off with some of the things
No,
you like
you know
this
what?
year?
I think what I want is that we came in, we met here to record, and Tom's like, oh, I got 20 things on our list, and me and you just
14,
about
I
fell
went
over.
back.
Okay, 14. You still almost doubled me up. So why don't we have Tom start?
Okay.
Get in there.
How are we doing this? Am I just naming them?
Yeah, we'll
Give us
interrupt
one.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go in.
All right. In no particular order.
Okay.
Incendiary. That was Miles there.
I-
Think it's
okay.
a great record.
Pause. Okay, so we won't say what we won't say what bands you were in, but we will say that Incendiary is weirdly a Xerox copy of bands you were in. Is that
No,
fair?
no,
I don't
I
think
won't
so.
say that. I won't
No
say
way.
that.
Not
Seb,
that-
what do you think? Nah. He's saying nah.
Is that
He's
the
got a
political
high-pitched
answer?
voice.
Oh, come on.
Like
They're
you?
playing your songs.
No, they are definitely not.
I say this as a guy that likes Incendiary, but those are indecision
I don't
songs.
see it.
Totally different tone.
What
Yeah.
are we motherfucking talking
No,
about? So
I
they're
think-
rapping on the new
It's
record.
definitely
So
no,
what?
no. It's definitely influenced by it, but I don't think they sound. I think there's other bands that sound more.
Are they better than your
Who
band?
sounds more like
in
your
2017?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
I think so.
I was 20 when we wrote those fucking records.
Stop
They're
with
32.
that. God,
That's not
these
fair.
These excuses, always.
Well, no, but this
Yo,
motherfucker
Incendiary,
likes-
not for me, not my style, but
I think
their
I
energy
think
is
they're a
crazy,
fantastic band.
and seeing it live, it's crazy.
If they were a full-time band, they'd be the biggest band in hardcore.
I think they're not a full-time band, and they're almost the biggest band
Yeah.
in hardcore.
Yeah, agreed. But we separate episode. We will address if that claim has any merit whatsoever.
All right, and you know what we're gonna do
Sure.
is we're gonna do episodes where we do a deep dive on the record,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we'll do. That's a good record for this.
All right. Can I keep going, or am I going to get shit on the next one?
No. I
No,
just
go to the
I
next one.
feel like there's some
Yeah,
dishonesty in that
next.
last one.
All right, so Seb likes both bands, right? Fair enough. You like Indecision, you like Incendiary. We don't
So you
sound that
just
much
let the
alike.
cat out of the bag. All right.
Well, he already said it.
Oh, we did. All right.
I mean, I think they have Snapcase, they have 108, all the shit that we ripped off too.
Honestly,
Yo.
my thought on it is they take some of those influences, they give it a better production, a
Much
smoother
better.
sound, and you guys forced me to listen to Snapkids for the first time in like 20 years.
It's not good.
It's not great.
No.
It's not great. But what Incendiary
I
does
love
is
some of
take
those
that
records.
stuff. I know you do. It took some of that stuff and really threw it through the blender and made something better. What do you think is the new record?
I don't think it's as good as Cost of Living.
I do
Okay.
agree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Crusades better.
Okay.
See, you're
Okay.
like you're a demo guy. You're like
Not
one of the
even.
guys.
I
That's
just that record just like I heard Incendiary before I ever heard Indecision or any other band that sounded like that.
Yeah.
In that realm of like metallic, not even, you know.
No, it's
There's, like,
metallic-ish
Metallic, and
hardcore.
there's
Mhm.
other, yeah. I don't know. That kind of was like Crusades was just fucking crazy to me at the time.
Is the new Incendiary on your top 10 for this year?
No.
Okay.
Interesting.
that is
Still like
interesting.
the band.
I saw. Yeah, I love.
Love the band.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Awesome.
they have a 3 LP winning streak. That's pretty
Yeah.
solid. You
And-
can't
and,
really
you know,
say as many bands that do that.
As an actual hardcore band,
Right.
and they are to do 3 LPs, that's rare.
They
So
do
good.
right too.
And they're all
the splits they've done. are
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Good.
And they handle their business. The
All right,
way.
next.
I think they're great. I should skip this one to the end because I feel like this is the one I'm going to get beaten on.
All right.
Skip
You
it then.
should,
Your call.
Because I was going to say Code Orange, the Forever.
Yeah,
I think it's
Do
fantastic.
we want to jump in? No, let's
We'll
save
skip that. We'll
for
go
a
back
minute.
to that.
It's fine.
The Power Trip record, Nightmare Logic.
Undeniable.
Fantastic.
Undeniable.
Right.
People that I know that don't like music have that shit on their top 10.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who don't like music that loves thrash metal. So, that
It's
record's
straight.
the best.
It's
It's their best
an amazing
record.
record. They deserve every single fucking.
It's their
bit
best
of-
record, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anyone deny
Yes.
that? No.
People that say
Amazing.
the one before this are full of shit.
No, that's some last record was better
Yeah.
shit. That's
Yeah,
some
yeah,
I
yeah.
discovered
No,
this earlier
that
shit. No.
Executioner's Tax is the fucking hit.
Amazing.
Biggest. It's the best heavy song this year.
Well, and what I like about it is
I'm
that
up
they
for
go, they kind of capture the older thrash metal sound, but it's not new. And I would say that this new record is the most hardcore of their records.
I mean, they're a punk
too.
band
It's
that-
like
with
it's
solos.
awesome. It's
It's
fucking
fucking
awesome.
fantastic.
All right.
All right, here's where I get a little soft. So
Okay,
no one's gonna
all
have
right.
anything to say
All
about
right,
it.
all right,
'Cause
all
I
right.
like
Go in.
See,
Alex Leahy. I love you like a brother.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Thank you.
All right,
Give me why. What is that? What is that?
it's like a pop punk female singer from Australia. It's not pop punk. It's all right.
What kind of pop
No,
punk?
no,
Like,
skip
my
ahead.
Like
generation.
fucking, not like it's not like the story
Yeah, yeah.
so far.
Your
It's kind of
generation
like
pop punk or my generation
Yeah.
pop punk? Because they're two different.
what's the
things.
difference?
No, there's a
Same
difference.
shit.
There's a
Yours is
no.
fucking like-
There's
Well,
a
like
difference.
the kids
Okay.
that like. Is it like the Descendants? No.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
okay.
I'm saying.
It's kind of like a driving like rock band.
Okay.
Great singer. She's got a great
Okay.
voice, fun lyrics, whatever.
Okay.
Julian Baker, 6131.
Yeah,
shit.
I love that record. I think
A
it's
lot of people
fantastic.
feel really strongly about it. To be honest, I haven't given that as much attention as everybody in the world suggests that I should.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a great record.
That's what I'm told.
You
Both
listen to it
records
yet?
are great.
Sub?
I listened to her cover. She had like a Jawbreaker cover.
Yeah.
Right? I listened to that. I don't even know why. I don't even listen to Jawbreaker, but someone posted about it and people were freaking out.
What's
She's
interesting
good,
for
like,
me,
it's
what's
alright.
what's interesting for me is I've listened to the record and it didn't hit with me, but then I see the live performance, I see how people emote on it and really vibe on it,
People can't believe it.
and it doesn't. I don't
do it.
feel it, but I see it, and so it's like one of those things where I listen to the record, I listen to it, I'm like, so I'm checking out the next one. and
Like
that's-
I've never seen a band get like it's dead silent while she's playing.
Right.
Not one. You know, like you go to see a quiet band who's talking, you hear fucking bottles rattle. It's a fucking morgue in there.
Yeah.
And then in between songs, it's like rapturous applause. It's really impressive. It's super like.
So is it one of those things where like you're connecting with the lyrics on an emotional level? You know?
Yeah, I think she's talented. She's a great guitar player. She
Okay.
writes beautiful like melodies and stuff. All right, here's the next one. Phoebe Bridgers, A Stranger in the Alps.
You're all
Dude,
over
you
the
got to
fucking
give us.
place.
Let's get back to the
Let's
heavy.
get to the
but- okay,
core, man.
so go ahead,
breaking up a
Phoebe
little
Bridgers.
bit.
All right, all right,
She's
all
from
right.
LA. She's a singer-songwriter. She's awesome.
Singer songwriter. What? Give me a
man.
reference point, man. Anything?
Kind of like Elliott Smithish.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
Oh, you know what?
Keep it moving.
No, Elliott Smith. Yeah, again, same deal, same boat.
sorry.
It doesn't connect.
I like the new National record.
Yeah.
Great record.
Whoa, that's a
Sleep
wild
Like
card for
Beast. Thank you very
Seb.
much,
Holy
Seb.
shit. Not what I
Once
expected.
you guys see my top 10, you'll.
All right, so give me
That's
the
a-
national. Sell me on the national because I don't know.
Interpol without any fun whatsoever.
Right, and I like
Oh, because
Interpol.
Interpol is that much fun?
The first Interpol record is as fun
It's
as
a
that
Joy
type of
Division
music
record.
gets. Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, the National is if you took all the fun out of Interpol and made it what Interpol is now.
You
I
check
think it's
them.
way better.
That shit is
Okay.
badass.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to it for the first time a couple months ago after
impressive.
people telling me to listen to it for years. And I started I did like the whole discography.
Right.
And the last record is fucking awesome.
Because you're
Great.
young, you do the whole discography. What's the best record? Do you know? Is this new one the best one to check out?
I don't think it's the best one. I'm so bad with names
That's fine.
of things. It's
all
one
right.
of the earlier ones.
Okay.
I gotta look it up now.
Tom, what's the best one?
New one's pretty great.
Okay.
It's pretty listenable from beginning to end.
All right, I'll listen to it, and if it's bad, I'm gonna shit on you next
Well,
time.
you will anyway, so whatever. All right, so we're getting back into heavy stuff. Converged, Dusk and Usk. I think it's a great record. I think it's one of the best in a long time.
Okay, I'm gonna say something heretical here. I really liked that last record. That did not resonate. Wait, which one was the last one? Which one was the one that galloped instead of double bassed its way
Right,
through
what
the
was
fucking?
that? It was
There, All We Love, We Leave Behind.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's-
a U2 song.
no. What is it? No, that's correct.
I think that is.
That's
yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
That one had a gallop to it, and as far as drums, if you go too fast, yeah, you're losing me. That's just straight up. I think once you get to a certain level of drum beats per minute, you are just it's something that you're doing to the audience instead of a song. And I like. I know that this is not a popular opinion, but that Converge record that just galloped the whole way through, much better to me.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing. I've never been a Converge guy, but out of respect, I listened, check it out, and it sounded like a return to form, like really driving stuff. And the friends of mine who are true Converge heads are like, this is it.
Yeah,
it's
loved
back.
it.
It's
They loved
back. And what I'll say is I love the way it looked.
It's always
Every one of the
beautiful.
records, I love the way it looked, but it didn't click for me. But none of their stuff does.
I
so
actually
it's
really,
okay.
I really like the single, to be honest.
And you're an old Converge fan.
I'm actually,
Both sides.
I go petitioning. Jane Doe actually loses me, which is the most unpopular opinion of all. And
Really,
that
that's like the.
I know, but
That's the
I
thing,
like the
that's
mosh
the
metal
top.
material before that, and I actually like the shit that sounds like Threadbare at the very beginning more than I like the class, like the now famous, the now classic, the now
Right.
Yeah, and if you want to catch me on Threadbare. I like Threadbare.
Okay.
And that might surprise
All
you.
right, we'll get all into that. a
Seb,
little bit.
what's your feelings as the young man in the room on Converge?
I listened to that petitioning the sky thing.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yo,
all right.
I straight up love that is your take because it is a debate among the old set if young people like Converge.
I'm sure there's a lot. There's a lot that front on Converge and all those
You think
bands.
so?
too.
But is it? But that's the question. All right, go in on
for
this.
me, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have no reason to lie about in front on bands.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
So, I share that sentiment. I think it's like a lot of things. They're a band that people name check off. Like, oh, Converge. Of course you like Converge, regardless of what subgenre you assign yourself to. But where's the young people on that? I don't know. I hope they're checking it out because I think that's a band of older dudes doing stuff that's still relevant every fucking day.
Oh.
The amount of bands that come out now that are like metalcore per se, I think people should be checking out Converge. I guess
Which blows my mind because they're huge, but
Yeah,
kids
they're
that are
fucking-
into it would rather name check like Day of Suffering or something.
I'd rather name check
random-
Disembodied, and
Right.
that's fine. But like you go back to
Disembodied is
2000,
opening for Converge everywhere.
everywhere,
In their living room, they're opening
everywhere.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah,
go back
at
to that time
Disembodied's
period,
family
oh my God.
reunion,
Union, they're
Converge
open
is still
Converge.
headlining.
Yeah.
No
correct.
question.
All right, so the next, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar.
man.
I think
All
the
right.
record's fantastic.
All right,
good shit.
I think it's great.
all right.
I think
Okay.
it hit all the bases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great lyrics. It's all right. God damn it.
Keep it moving.
It's the
No,
first
it's good.
and last
All
podcast
right.
that I'm going to be involved
No,
in.
you're in for life. This is good.
All right, you're going to make fun of me for this shit
No,
too now?
Dude, can you
Go
give
in,
us an
go in.
easy one? Come on.
All right, I like the XX.
No,
That shit is
no.
boring as
That's some fantagram
Go in on
shit.
him, Seth.
That's some
Come on.
Hit me,
fantagram.
it's fine, I'll take it.
Ah,
I feel like
Jesus.
people pretend to like that shit.
No, I really like
Oh,
that.
why do you like it?
I believe
Why do
he
I like
likes
it?
it. I
It's
just
Got a
don't.
lot of emotions, man.
I'm an emotional guy, man.
Yeah, me too. But like,
You know?
XX is just boring, man.
I just like it. It's chill.
It is chill. No denying
Is it
that.
background music for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
Okay.
I'm not like, fuck, this hits me in the fucking heart. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
No,
like,
but there's music like I could throw on tons of music that I was listening to when I'm trying to do a final exam or something.
I mean, it's like a fucking trip hop record.
But
with
you
a
still
girl singing it.
have listened to those records before, and if it's affected you,
Yeah.
music shouldn't just be background music.
Right.
Then what's
Well,
the
that's
fucking
right.
point? Then
Well,
it's
it
just
can't-
elevator jazz.
It
Right.
can be,
Which
but-
is fine,
But that's what I'm saying. There's a record that people say I do the dishes to it, I clean to it, etc. That
Like if I'm zoning out on a train, I listen to this record.
Yeah, but
Okay,
the first
alright.
time you listened to it, you were paying attention to it. You know, it wasn't.
Yeah, and I
like,
dug it because
Exactly.
like I like the rhythm, like whatever. It's whatever.
Right, I've
feel like I
talked.
have
You
to
know what
cut you
record
out
I've talked
here.
about?
No,
with that?
no.
No. You know what? I'm
You're
going to
doing
give
a
a
killer
reference
job
point.
right now.
I'll do a reference point on that because a friend of mine was talking to me about the last Title Fight record, Hyperview, and I was like, oh, I really vibe on it. I like it a lot. And he was like, I listened to it. I liked all the old stuff. I don't really like it. And I was like, you know what it is to me? I was like, I listened to it. I liked it. But to me, it's a sunny summer day. You're cleaning your house. You throw that record on. It's cool to have in the background. And that's not to negate it or say anything negative. It's just to say that's a vibe I get from it. I'm not listening to get pumped up. But then you go to the live setting, I see those songs, and it all flows perfectly. And it's like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. Fair.
So,
Next, am I
Exactly.
allowed to keep
yeah,
going?
you're
now?
loud. You're doing a great
this
job.
is interesting.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
All right,
Yeah.
there's this record by this dude named Sci-Hi the Prince.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sci-Hi the
He
Prince.
was a ghostwriter of Kanye. So
Okay.
He kind of put out his own record. It's
That's
awesome.
cool.
I got to side with him. I'm not wild about it.
Okay.
But the same with Kendrick. There's no denying that these are some of the top level lyricists.
Like,
Like,
real
I
smart,
don't
yeah.
love every song on these records at all, but like, if you just are there for the lyrics, you're like, these dudes are fucking top notch.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
All right.
go on. I'm
All right,
with
so
you.
my last three, all hardcore.
Okay,
Okay.
please.
And
Okay.
nobody will have a problem with any of them.
Okay,
Okay.
whoa.
That would be my
see.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Oh.
The Hangman 7-inch.
I'm with it.
Very good.
I'm with it. That's a late addition to my
A Wild
list.
Decree. Very good record.
Yeah.
Haven't listened yet.
Very
we'll,
good.
we'll check out.
It's
Sell me on it.
It's legitimately hard
It's a
with
good hardcore record.
with
Yeah.
with a cameo with
the dude from Neglect.
yes,
Brian Zod, man.
yeah.
LIH.
They-
You talk on this. I want to hear
Shit's
it.
good, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't like anything from Hangman before.
Yeah.
They're my friends. They
Sure.
fucking, they're not babies. They can
handle this stuff, yeah.
The new record is fucking sick. It's not even some friend shit. It's like
How are they live?
it's good. I regularly was on tour when they did the record release, but
Yeah,
they
that's crazy.
did it and they had 186 paid.
Damn.
That's fucking for just them. Like
It's
they
awesome.
headlined that shit.
It was
It's
wild.
fucking
Like, the video
crazy.
was wild.
Yeah,
Awesome.
like,
Okay.
Brian was there. He did his part too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
awesome.
and listen, this is no disrespect to Brian, but let's just call a spade. Dude's a genuine weirdo, and they had
Yeah.
to, and they had to dig this dude up.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I heard that. That's cool.
Like-
I
Well,
remember the story.
So Mike Smith, the guitarist of Hangman, he somehow got in touch with the drummer of Neglect, and they started jamming to do a new band. And then the drummer of Neglect hit up Brian. He was like, "Hey, like hardcore's still a thing. You should come to a show." So he went to an AF show on Long Island, and apparently he was wearing like a Trump like muscle shirt, which I think is perfect.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
So he was there and he was like moshing the AF and shit like that, which is fucking awesome.
Great.
And then the drummer of Neglect was like, check out Hangman, like they like Neglect and stuff. And so yeah, he just started hanging out with Brian from Neglect, and then they asked him to do the part, and he fucking killed it, dude.
And he wanted like editorial. What I heard was that they're like, so what's this band about? Because he's born again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
but,
damn.
So
but-
he didn't
but-
want to like
Rice
co-sign
and
anything that he didn't agree with.
but born
Yeah.
again in like a the
dude is out of his mind.
yeah he's
Like,
pretty
yeah.
far gone.
He's ready for
He's
shit
like
to go down.
stockpiling weapons and shit.
Yeah,
like,
okay. Like,
so
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
just born again. He's like a born again survivalist that
Right,
really
he's ready
hasn't
to die
had
because Jesus
right.
is taking him home.
Now I'm going to jump in on this for just a second.
Okay.
Okay, so I think it's a good record for sure, and probably makes if I go a top 10, it'll make it at number 10. But what I think is cooler than the fact that it's a good record is that it I don't want to say it honors, it's fucking, but it shows some respect to a local
Legend
legend.
in reality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a local legend.
In Germany and Long Island.
yeah, exactly
Germany,
right.
France, and Long Island.
Yeah.
And
And the Youngs, I feel like they're weird. They like
Yeah.
that shit.
They probably like that shit a lot.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
I like that it, and for the people that don't know Neglect that might be listening to this, that's fine. It was a largely regional phenomenon, and but it is from, and I don't mean to say that you're lacking something, young people, and I don't mean to make a divide between like dudes that are in their 30s and dudes that are in their 20s. It's not
Right.
that crazy, but being a straight up damaged weirdo is not really still a thing. Like, I'm not encountering those people nearly as much in my touring life as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I used to run into dudes who you were pretty confident were going to get on a bell tower and shoot a bunch of student nurses at some point because they are fucked up.
Like they were into this because they were fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure people, I don't know everybody. I'm sure people are still drawn to music for all sorts of reasons. But like, Brian Neglect is a profoundly strange dude. He's born again now. He was weird prior to being, if you think
Yes.
born again Brian is weird, cutting his
Brian is
face
weird.
open, Brian.
Like a Sprite can.
Yeah, he
That
would
would
rip
be
a Sprite
intense.
can in half and cut his
my-
face.
yeah.
That's a weird fella. It's
fucking
and,
awesome.
Yeah.
And that is a dude that I don't care what we might find out about the guy. He might have corpses in his backyard
Sure.
for all I fucking know.
Hope he does.
Yeah, probably does.
Just add to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I make no value judgment on the man. I just like, listen.
It's genuine.
It's genuine. He's,
Right,
a
it's not
genuine
fake.
he's a genuinely
He
deranged.
supersedes the music and
Yes,
the lyrics.
exactly.
As you should.
So it's an actual,
There's
it's
a lot of-
actuality, not a putting
the
on.
fucking-
There's a lot of
Yeah.
weirdos that go like, "This is my stage persona."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's
right.
what.
Right, the band
Right,
like
can
that,
we
you
talk
can
about
hurt.
this? Long Island Breeds Weirdos is a really nice
Always has
little
been.
weird, and that's great. I love it. So
Kids that
so,
mosh naked.
Right, yeah, yeah.
All right, my last two. and then
Okay,
we'll-
please.
New Backtrack record. Their
Okay.
best record.
It's their
Yep.
best record.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
Best record they've done.
You're with that, Seb?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of, I thought you'd be like I like the old shit sort of guy.
No, Deal with the Devil is sick.
Okay.
But like,
This is better
I'm
than
This
not
is
the
built
idiot.
on
This
it.
shit is just good.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
Ricky cannot write a bad riff.
Okay,
He's a
so
riffer.
so here's
I
the
think
thing.
he's like a Todd Jones level riffer.
Wow.
I think he's great. Like,
Okay,
he's
that's
great
a hot
with it.
take.
Like, Todd Jones is his own.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
animal.
But
And last is the Fireburn record. I really like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the Fire and Burn record. I like it.
It's fucking sick, dude.
You like it a lot.
amazing.
Okay, good.
It's the bad brains that everyone wished they had.
Right.
Hold on. I want to get into
2017.
Seb talking as 22-year-old, recent 22-year-old
Yeah.
man, liking the Fireburn record. That seems like a total wild card to me because that record, we happen to, we know the label guys, so we have an idea what it sold well, but
Right.
we were speculating
Old men.
old men.
purchasers.
Yeah, that's just Germans, Japanese, and fucking
The
old
plus 30
fucking
crowd.
men. You know
So
what I mean?
so what I'll jump in here because I want you to speak on it. Seb's not alone in that. I've actually gotten that feedback from a lot of younger dudes that I've talked to that record's sick, and that has been a heartwarming piece because my fear with knowing a dude or two there is that would have just been slotted into like, oh, old man band. And there's nothing worse than being an old man band. That shit seems the most irrelevant garbage. in the
Listen,
world.
okay, so I'm in my 30s. I got an offer to be in a band that's like really cool, like the sort of shit that I don't hear played very often and would really like to do.
Quick, Pat got offered to sing for Agnostic Front first.
that'd be dope.
pay for that.
But I said to the dude that made the offer, I said, listen, I'd love to do this, but I'm in my 30s now, and I got to be frank with you. Am I undermining you by being in this band? Does this become an old guy band by me being in it? Because that's the kiss of death. It's some of the Baltimore dudes doing Minor Threat meets like fucking like Born Against.
Nah,
And
they
it's-
need a young dude for that. Don't
Is
do
that
it.
okay?
Yeah,
Am I sabotaging them?
you are. You should
Okay.
try it. You should try it, but you should say, "Yo, put me in the studio with this dude and just see what it's like." And maybe we do a live practice too. And who knows? Whoever smokes it live is the way to go. That's just it.
Because here's my thing, like my bands for whatever reason, like they're immune to that, like, oh, you're in your 30s thing. It's
Yeah.
But if I joined something today,
Right.
that like I don't know if I'd be damaging it. And like Fireburn, the whole band is there's a 50-year-old in that fucking band.
Right. Yeah.
So like
Right.
I wouldn't. That's interesting if they dodged the old dude
I think
curse.
they did.
I think Todd actually helped.
Yeah.
Not Todd Youth.
Todd Jones,
Jones.
sure.
And Todd Jones is a month older than me. I love you, Todd.
Well, fuck. Bad Brains is my favorite band, so obviously.
My man.
You know,
fucking Israel
And this
is
is the
that
bad
band.
brains that you wish you could see.
Well,
yeah.
and here's
I mean,
one piece I want to give because that Fireburn record's on my list too. And I think it's a great record. And I think all of the conversation about it being Bad Brains, totally. One of the things that gets lost, listen to that record.
Thank you.
I hear some SoCal circle jerk stuff.
A lot of Black Flag stuff.
Some drum beats.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. And I'm really excited to think about where they can go with the sound because that's not something that the Bad Brains had their own sound totally, but to think about the Bad Brains being able to pull in influence from like SoCal punk means, oh wow,
Right.
you could get some original sounds. And so it's Bad Brains worship, all that. But man, it's a killer record.
My only issue at the Rabies benefit, he goes, I'd like to dedicate this to my man, JB's. He called Rabies JB's.
I'm putting that on my tragedies of the year.
That was-
He
that's-
was in the Bad Brains. They can do whatever the fuck he wants.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah, but he
Thanks,
was in it
Sam.
for like 2
I'm
years.
with it.
You know what,
And the
though?
record,
Fucking
You know what though?
sick-ass
That
record.
record totally underrated.
one of the
and
best ones. Yeah.
that as a kid,
Good record.
that's the when all the older dudes were like, "Yo, you got to listen to Bad Brains." That's the record that I found at the store.
Yep.
Epic.
And-
That was everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, Rides was
and
everywhere.
and as a result, that was my first exposure to Bad Brains.
That's awesome.
So that's like, so when people, it's only now that this dude is kind of back
been
in a way.
gone for 22
right.
Right, he's
but-
getting ushed back in a
he's-
way that people are familiar
and
will
people
actually
respect
check it,
and
yeah.
everything, and I'm glad to see it because the record is pretty hot. You know what I mean?
It's good.
So you know what? I think it's interesting because that's one of those things. Your entry point, your exposure point to a record has such an influence on how you digest that band. For me, I lucked out. A lot of my friends who were a little bit older, a year or two older, were like, "Oh, Roar Sessions, check out Roar Sessions, check out Roar Sessions," and that's where I got in. But then I evolved and listened to all the. I mean, I love it all. So, but I could see if your entry point is Eye Against Eye or later, you might listen to Roar and go, "Whoa, this is just a different genre."
Yeah.
You know,
This is noise to me. Yeah.
right, and you know, I've heard from people. There's some younger people. Seb, you can check me on this, but I've heard from some young people that they're like, "Oh, the production on the old Bad Brain stuff, I can't vibe with that," and that breaks my fucking heart.
But I think
Thank
those,
you.
yeah.
Best band of all time.
But I think some of those records sound good while you listen to like Youth of Today and it's like,
Yeah,
what
it
the
sounds
fuck
like
were you
fucking
guys
trash can.
recording? Like I feel like the old Bad Brain stuff, even that sounds good for what it was.
Fucking sick.
Right, and when you put the scope, the lens of time, and say what they were recording and where, it's amazing what they were doing.
Dude, Black Dot was in like a log cabin.
Right.
somewhere.
Right, it's outside.
Yeah.
Right, you hear like birds
He was recording
chirping and
vocals
shit.
outside,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
in some
And, like,
weird
what is it,
neighborhood.
80, 79?
78.
Yeah, Jesus, come on.
Yeah.
It fucking came out
Yeah.
sick.
Right.
It's amazing.
And
All right.
no one's beaten it since.
So yeah, and
There you go.
Fireburn, great band. I think the word on the street is we're going to hear some more songs from them soon, so that's cool.
Yeah, maybe a tour or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Let's hear it. All right, so Tom, good
You got
list.
one more, right?
I'm just gonna get the fuck out of
You
here.
got one more list?
No, I'm not gonna anymore.
That's it.
You
Give
guys
it
are
to
done.
us.
You do.
No, that was it.
No.
That was that. Wait, what was the? So it was
Code
Hangman.
Hey,
Code Orange.
Code Orange is the
Orange.
one we got to discuss.
Let's talk Code Orange. Let's go.
Okay, all
I
right.
think it's a great record. For someone who was around for the original part of that, I think it's really well done. I think they do that better than those bands.
Well, what
I think
bands are we
without
talking
question.
Disembodied, Martyr AD, all that shit that they
Without
look up
question.
to, they do it way better. Just as you're saying, like Incendiary is way better than Indecision. It's the same thing though, because they took that,
No.
and they're just way better at it. Like I don't listen to fucking Disembodied. I haven't listened to them in 20 years, but I'll put a Code Orange record on probably in 15 years and still like it.
So let me.
That record's a solid, like artistic record.
So let me throw down here. It's not my world. It's just not.
I
my
see what
world.
you did there. Though.
However,
That was
Yeah,
good.
good reference.
I don't even think he knows
Nah,
who did it.
Go on.
Their first hit. Oh, you did. All right.
So, it's
I knew
okay.
it.
Okay, all right.
Please give me a little credit. I will say this. I think I can find a lot of respect, even as someone who thinks the music it's just not my thing. It really isn't. And when I'm King comes out, everyone from every little niche of the world is shouting from the ceilings, this record is it, this is the banger, check it, check it, check it. And I see some of their videos and it's crazy. I check it, I'm listening, I'm like, two parts on that record, straight up. 2 parts, I'm like, oh, I like this. Because I listened deep. I did that deep listen, not some skim bullshit. I respect the hustle. I respect the aesthetic of the whole thing. And they're grinding. And like, other than that, it's just not my shit.
Now, did you
I
like
think
that-
I'm the only one in the room who's like that. What's
Did
that?
you like their influences though?
No.
So, I mean,
No.
it's-
So further influences like that era of stuff. Like I like some of the precursor stuff. Like we were talking, Threadbare came up. I like Threadbare. I don't like Disembodied. I don't like Martyr AD. And I was around for some of that.
Right, yeah,
and I
right.
remember stepping out of the room and being like, "This shit, come on, man, really?" So
Very
we could,
short style of you.
well, that's where
You guys don't like that shit. at all.
No, man. But that's fine. Like some of those dudes vibe on some of that stuff. But the metalcore revival and this stuff, I'll say this. Code Orange has superseded that, right? They're like out in their own world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like they're on their own shit, and that's cool and good for them to get out of that. Because I think some of that shit, like talk about being around for something and people
Trash.
immortalize it. Dude, Trustkill Records, circa 2001. That's what people want to
No,
be
it's
into.
coming back.
Whoa.
That's coming
I know,
back.
don't-
Son.
Tom, it's all right. We can talk on that, but
That's coming back. Not just,
it's not even come back. It's been here for a few minutes.
but
where
the
people like,
aesthetic
"Well,
is back. Have you seen
Oh, yeah.
sanctioned?
have.
The sanctioned art.
It's straight up.
Oh my
1999.
God! It's an
Yeah.
era that I thought would never return visually.
No,
I never
visually
thought it
no,
was.
and
songs
sound wise, I mean, so do you vibe on any of that stuff, Seb?
Code Orange?
No, the
Like the early
Trustkill
2000s,
shit,
like
Poison the Well.
I love Poison the Well, yeah.
Fuck.
That shit is. Give me some more Trustkill bands.
I mean, Most Precious Blood.
Yeah. But that shit's not even like.
No, that doesn't
There's
count.
like a
Yo,
certain-
Most Precious Blood is the hardcore band. that
There's
was
like
on
a
Trustkill.
spectrum of like bands
Respect.
like that.
there's
you
like
know?
Throwdown,
Throwdown,
Bleeding Through.
Bleeding
Down
Through,
is
no.
Hatebreed Junior.
with straight
Okay.
edge
Not
lyrics.
good.
Okay.
I have a good Throwdown story.
You want to give it?
We'll
Can
get
you
into
put it
I
here?
mean, we could beef. I don't give a shit.
Oh, no, you're gonna
this
beef
beef?
on Throwdown?
Yeah, like 15 years. I don't give a
Yo,
fuck.
quick things. I want to shout out Throwdown. I thought your music sucked. You guys were always super nice to me at Secret Spot in Huntington Beach. Love sharing burritos with you.
Why are
guys.
you like look at him being like, yo, when I come back,
No.
don't
but
have
video-
fucking
but-
California Dave
listen,
beat the shit
listen,
out of me.
here's the-
Like,
here's
Yo,
the
no,
thing.
but Throwdown, your music was really bad.
Here's
And I
the
thought
thing.
that from day one.
Yo,
but, but you guys were super nice dudes.
Before Tom comes in with an eviscerating shit on the fucking Throwdown record,
Yeah, you love that shit.
Haymaker is dope.
Yeah, you love
I don't
that
give a fuck. If you put
well, they
Haymaker,
got pro with that.
I
because
know,
that
but if you
dude-
put
Dave's
Haymaker
voice
on
is
right
hard.
now, I would tip the table.
No, that
I
shit's
think it's
garbage.
fucking great.
Garbage.
Well, it sounds
Garbage.
like Pantera.
No,
No,
that's the
no,
stuff
no.
after.
All right,
that's
but it was
that's
good.
the later record.
They got better.
Haymaker is between the joke garbage music that you could only like if you were from that area
Right.
and the Pantera stuff that was just ill-advised and they really shouldn't have gone in that direction. Haymaker is right down the middle, hard as fuck. It is a fucking hard record.
Can we talk? Let's just talk. So set the scene. 1998, 99. It's a rough time for hardcore. Shit's on life support. People don't realize this. That shit was bad. I'm looking around searching for anything. I'm going to varsity shows. I'm going to see Bloodbath. I'm ordering the Show of Hands 7-inch. Oh, this is a band called Adamantium? That's fucking dope. Let me listen to this. Oh, fuck.
I fucked up.
This-
Mind you, this is Pat talking about how much he loves Haymaker by Throwdown. Says Satisfaction is the Death of Desire has 4 good songs on it.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a
Seb,
motherfucking fact.
As a young man, is that
That's a fucking Bible. Right?
Listen.
that is fucking Age of Quarrel
Have
for
you ever
after
read, hold on,
1987.
pause. Have you ever read the actual Bible? Most of it's bullshit. Same thing with the actual fucking Hatebreed Bible.
This is what the
It's-
way people look at the real Bible is the way Satisfaction actually.
Listen, listen. Satisfaction undeniably
believe
important. Satisfaction undeniably a good record. What makes a good hardcore record? 4 songs. That's what makes a good hardcore
All right,
record.
they got
they
4
happen to have 12.
plus. Are
if
you kidding me?
if you have 5 great songs, you're the best hardcore band that ever existed.
Yeah, Hatebreed is fucking up there, man.
I think
There's
I
no
like.
skippable songs on that record.
I think
Straight
I like
up, man.
4 Hatebreed songs in their discography. So
Are they?
You're
Are they?
fucking
Are they
dumb.
all?
No.
Are they?
Why? Because I
that
was
shit is
there. I remembered it.
objectively good.
No.
No, I've.
Okay, all right, they
feel like
were terrible
breakdowns?
before
Do you
that.
wanna,
record.
no, 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 no,
Fucking
no. Do you want to talk about it? Hatebreed was already mall metal by 1998, and that's well, it just was bad.
I
It was
wouldn't
just
say-
bad.
I'm not
It was
saying that.
bad.
I'm not
It was
saying
bad.
that. They
You're
were-
not. You're.
I'm not saying that.
But Perseverance, that's a cool song. That's a good
Great
song.
song.
That whole record is fucking sick.
No, pause.
They
Wait,
like
pause.
That's more
pause.
like 5 songs.
One after is not even bad either.
I
3
think-
great LPs in a row.
What?
With Under the Knife.
And
the
do you
Neglect
not?
split.
Do you like stuff after that? You probably should,
some
man.
songs.
Stop.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2
yeah.
songs. Every Hatebreed album has 2 good songs, no
All right,
doubt.
so
The covers record is cool.
Yeah.
I like the covers record.
They
They
did a
cover
song-
Sub-Zero for
They
Christ's
did a
sake.
that's
song
bold.
that like references, it's not a reference, it's about the Howard Stern show, and it's fucking awesome. I love Howard
Look,
Stern.
I mean, that's fine. I think
That's
that's,
fucking awesome.
one of the pieces. It's there are regional things, and it was definitely I came up in a real small spot where we got into older stuff at that time, same time. So the dudes at my high school who were repping Hatebreed were also repping Korn and Limp Bizkit.
That's
and
why you
that's
don't
not
fuck
even.
with it.
Well, that's
'Cause
part
you
of
used to
why.
get beat
but
up by
no,
Korn fans.
no, I didn't actually. But
Adidas
no,
jacket.
they were actually shitty and like dorky, and it was like, oh, cool, and they tried to
So you
vibe and
used
be
to
like,
bully then.
no, not even. It was just like, yo, I don't fuck with you.
This
I
is
don't
your
fuck
axe to
with you.
grind.
Yeah, this
There
is.
you
Yeah,
go.
you gotta
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
is true.
announce.
No,
You
no,
gotta
no, no.
announce.
No, no, no. I will announce, but like I just said, Perseverance, great song, and like they got a couple tracks, but like
That shit is
so-
amazing.
So Hatebreed,
you're crazy. It's like that's where the move, and I think that's generational shit. Is that I got into older stuff, and so hearing that at the time, and I'm young, you know what I mean? I'm 15, 16. I'm like, oh shit, this isn't really my world. As I got
fast,
older, I can hang with some of it, and I totally can. Like, but yo, like Death Threat, Connecticut, who's
Awesome.
like what 2
Great.
steps off? Yeah, full on into it.
But I mean, it's the same thing.
It's pretty close.
It's a little,
It's a little
It's
different.
it's a little different. It's a step out,
But it's
more-
close.
that's why.
It's more
But
roots hardcore, I guess.
That's right, and that's I'm drawing a very fucking fine line in the sand. But when you're a 15 or 16-year-old, that's what you live and die on, right? You know what I mean?
Hatebreed is your VOD, where it appealed to
Oh.
where it appealed to the shithead. It appealed to the shithead, and that was wholly alienating to you. Is that
Sevin's
fair?
probably going to step up
No,
on this too.
no. I
'cause
mean,
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, he's
over
killing
here?
VOD.
Was
So
VOD
that's
was
the thing.
VOD not for shitheads? Pause.
I mean, that's what I've heard back in the day.
Yes!
It was like definitely like.
Yeah, Seb, you
Long
gotta-
Island Guido.
you gotta get
but
with this.
everyone from Long Island were fucking. They were all fucking like Guido.
We gotta
Like,
stop.
yeah,
Whenever
majority
somebody
VOD
says
neglect.
everyone from Long Island, that's the opposite of axe to grind. That's like blanket to hold because that's some shit like, yo, VOD, we love that shit. Yo, no, it's all right, and
true,
I don't
though.
even hate on VOD.
No, I mean, I'll
don't.
listen to Still right now.
But when that record came out, no one sounded like that.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give them that much. They were, dude, their 7-inch record release show, there was 2,300 people there. Like, they got so big and just randos from, like, Roosevelt Field Mall came to this fucking
Yeah, and
thing.
we
It
can,
wasn't
if we
just
want to
hardcore
go
kids
with
anymore.
like
But I feel like that
popularity,
was-
that's fine.
I
That's
feel like that
cool,
was a
you know.
different time in like pop culture where like.
That
What,
could
what
happen.
year did the self-titled?
Is that
come out?
94?
No. The demos were like 95, 96. I
Okay.
think
Yeah,
the
that's
self-titled.
right, that's
And
right, 97.
The LP came out like probably 97.
I feel like
sorry.
at that time, like aggressive music was more in than what's in right now.
Well, we
so
can-
it wouldn't be as right. Can you
It's
tell me?
interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think like what happens there is you have that grunge, and then post grunge is just like fucking better than Ezra and Gin Blossom.
No, but we
so
can-
like the aggressive stuff on a local level though, that shit was big.
Right, and that's the thing that actually I'd be interested to talk to you as a 22-year-old is we've all watched a type of music that we like fall off a cliff in terms of popularity, right? Like so. At one time, Tom was able to make a living playing hardcore music. I want you to. That's impossible to even wrap your fucking head around
that's
now.
amazing.
You know what I mean? So, but there was like 7 bands doing that at the
Oh,
time.
maybe more.
No, it was more at that time.
Yeah, it
Early
was more.
2000s, it was fucking.
I mean, yeah, early. Yeah,
like we all paid our rents and like.
That's what I'm saying.
lived,
New
like-
York. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like, it's
Fucking dream.
right? So like, but we've watched And like, you know, if you like a friend of the room, Trey McCarthy, like he'll talk about shows in Boston when he was a kid that would pay a band's rent for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like real sort of a different world sort of shit. And we've watched the shit fall off the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
But
Which you needed to.
well, yeah, of course.
I think
There was
so.
a, yeah,
For it to start
but-
up again.
That's a long. Yeah, I do think that. I think it's a good thing for stuff to go through cycles. And
It might be
and-
starting up again right now.
Sure,
No,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I think
Oh,
so.
the Turnstile
absolutely.
Code Orange. But hold on, what's the Ant Money? What's the
E-Town
E-Town Concrete.
So E-Town,
Legends, dude.
you hear people talk about E-Town and you'll be like, no. From the one record store in Elizabeth, they sold 20,000 copies. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
absurd numbers that just don't even make fucking sense. And obviously they're inflated, but the reality is that physical copies, they were probably selling more than my bands get downloads, or
Yes.
my bands get
Yes, they
listens,
were.
or my band, you know what I mean?
If you
And-
think about what sells like the big records now,
yeah.
that's nothing.
Right,
Compared
correct,
to even 2002 for hardcore bands.
But that's just. I mean,
Jo-
it's-
Jo-
that was
Josh
just-
Trustkill's fucking large house.
I've been in it.
Right.
I dated a girl that lived there. That
Right.
shit it's worth $700,000. That dude hasn't had a job since the 90s.
Yeah.
Is that true? He still doesn't
Yeah.
have a job?
He doesn't have a fucking job.
Jesus, Josh, get on the show. We gotta have you come on.
But I
Give
mean,
us the
he's putting out
secrets, my
records.
dude.
All right,
put out
yeah,
a ton of
let's get it
records.
moving. How
Sorry.
do we even get on Hatebreed? We're talking Code Orange.
Code
right?
Orange, right.
All right, so Code Orange, yo, respect to them. They hustled, they did it, and I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what their next year looks like. You know what I mean?
I got an
Might have shown
idea.
in Space probably or some shit like that.
I got an idea, and it is what I'm going to speak vaguely because I think I'd begin.
No secrets.
Right. It's what they need to be doing and smart. And that's the one thing that we can give Code Orange. Even if you hate their ass, they're smarter than the average Bears. You know what I mean? Like those dudes have navigated a circumstance that a lot of people just fly into the side of the fucking wall. They have managed not to do that. And I know a lot of haters are waiting for them to fly into the side of the wall, right? And I recognize that. But right now they are... They're doing it smart.
Well, I want to say this. I'll say this because I don't know their trajectory, whatever. And it's not like, well, who cares what we say, speculating. I think that some of those things, like the comparisons of who they are and what they are and what their genre is, like, yo, like, if you objectively listen to their record, would you say it's a hardcore record?
Okay, listen.
And that's a weird question.
No,
right?
no,
It's a
it's
weird
fair.
question.
It's a fair question.
Right.
Okay,
And I'm not
Well,
even saying
neither
that
is
as a
Power
diss.
Trip, but the singer's a fucking hardcore dude.
let me
Well,
say,
no, right, always.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like, that's the thing.
A few of them are, yeah.
hold
You
on.
know, yeah, I mean,
So one of my bands just went on tour with a hardcore band and a pop punk band. 15 dudes backstage plus crew, say 20 total, discussing exactly this fact.
Yeah.
By the way, your man, a Shore style dude, unequivocally said Code Orange not a hardcore band,
Right.
but strangely said Harm's Way is. That's a problem. We got to talk about that. Now, back to the point. There was no consensus on whether or not Code Orange was a hardcore band. I hear it and say that's a hardcore band because we call you Floor Punch Bob because that is more your lane, right? Now,
It leans in, sure.
leans.
Yeah. No way.
like, who's your favorite band?
He's gonna
Bad
say Floor
Brains.
Punch.
No,
Okay,
Bad
all
Brains.
right.
All right. Like not Bad Brains. Like if you had,
Chromax, you know.
oh well, of course. Especially World War IV.
Seb, how old were you when that came out?
Smash and
6,
Grab?
something like that. Yeah,
Oh God.
probably.
Holy shit.
So,
Fuck.
so the point.
What year were you born?
95?
6.
95.
Is that true? Jesus. All
All
right.
22. I don't know.
That was the first time I went on tour.
I know.
So, but the,
Indecision shut down 1995.
but the point is that
Back to basics.
I was more an indecision guy
Yes, you were.
than I ever was a floor punch guy.
That's
So
correct.
when I hear Code Orange, it makes total sense to me as a hardcore band. Like, now granted,
Totally. And that's background, and that's that's the
I mean,
crux of a lot of these conversations.
granted, it's still on the fringe. It's still in that.
You're putting it on the fringe.
I'm putting it on the fringe because there's a lot of elements there that did not. When I first got into music, they belonged to a completely different kid.
Yeah.
So like when people talk about Code Orange being new metal, I slap it down because I don't think there is new metal. I don't think they are remotely new metal. However, there are groove metal elements on all of their records.
Sure.
And that was not for the hardcore kid when I got into hardcore.
Right.
Like that was a different beast, that was a different human being that went to those shows. So those parts are alienating it and make it fringe to me.
Sure.
However, the metalcore parts,
Yes.
the hardcore parts, all make sense to me under the umbrella of hardcore. So Code Orange for me is easy. That's hardcore.
Well, and so to me, I asked the question, but it's not even a fucking interesting question. Like we've discussed, I think they supersede all that and they're doing their own thing. And that's the part that's interesting to me is that I asked someone recently about it. I'm like, what define Nine Inch Nails as a genre? What genre do they fall into? Can anyone do that? You'd say industrial,
Yeah.
but I
Dance.
think right, and they
Some
at the
metal.
time alternative and like this
Yeah.
whole thing,
Yeah,
and that is the lane that I think a smart band puts themselves into, where it's like, oh shit, we supersede, and people from this area can like us, and people from this area can like us, and all those people who are with us from the earlier days where it was like unequivocally, it might be too metalcore for the taste of a more straight up hardcore kid, but they're all going to be with us anyway. So, anyways, Code Orange. I mean, it's one of the biggest records of this year, no question.
I'm going to say not just, getting off of music for a second, because it makes my top 10, no doubt. But getting off of the actual songs played on the record. Live, at this point, it is undeniable.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
incredibly impressive.
I think it's so undeniable that I've told them I think that you are actually going to alienate a lot of your hardcore fans, not with the songs, but with your professional presentation. You know what I mean? There's going to be a kid that jumps off the train because Code Orange sounds incredible and is metal presentation in how good they are, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think you tell me, Seb, as the young person, is there going to be
Backlash.
Is there going to be some bitter ass kid that wants the local version
And
over Code Orange?
And so answer that, but also, is that a thing? Can you as a band present too professionally, too well rounded?
I don't know. I mean,
Like you're too good to be a hardcore band.
first, those motherfuckers tour with System of a Down in Europe, and
Sure.
people still fuck with them if this is hardcore and shit like that. So like, people aren't hopping off the train yet. I don't know what they're gonna have to do for hardcore kids really to abandon them, because they still play hardcore shows and like, they do all that shit.
And they look out for hardcore bands, right?
Yeah.
Like when they can.
Yeah. And what did you ask?
But like, do you think like the whole like arena talk way, like like some of those bands that come
like they're
back,
too professional. They're too
like too
professional.
pro.
They're too good. They're too smooth. It's too.
Dude, a lot of
put on.
bands are fucking tight, and Senior
Right.
and Turnstile are fucking tight when they play.
Right, but like I think it's different because like I don't think those dudes have the whole like Jamie as like the front person
Yeah.
comes back at like
band
he's playing in front of 20,000 people like he plays in front of 300 people,
Right.
And he doesn't. You see bands that get to that level that don't have the like playing a hardcore show. I don't need to give the fucking like what's up, motherfucker, like that kind of thing. Dudes from Turnstile, they play the same set if they're playing with Regulate or if they're playing with fucking Newfound Glory. It's the same shit, which is great. But like they don't put up. You wherever you see them, it's gonna be the same thing.
I think it's awesome. I mean,
Right.
I think of it like, you guys can, I guess, have more of a idea of this. So like, let's say, I guess E-Town was playing like huge shows probably in the 90s, right?
No.
Not at all.
I mean,
they are way bigger now than they had ever
Way
been in the
bigger.
That's
90s.
fucking crazy.
I mean,
What about,
I saw
like,
them at the Stone Pony with like 30 people, something like that.
We
Some
played
shit
with them in
like
San Francisco. There's like 27 people. Us, them in the
what about,
hoods.
Like Madball after they got signed.
It was Madball, Fury of Five, E-Town Concrete, and my friend's band, who was like a local band.
What band?
3 Against 1.
I don't even know that one.
No, it's some local
they're
shit.
real local.
But it was. It's hard to explain where Madball was, but it was like any band. Like you're familiar with Terror. They go up and down, up and down. There was a point, 96, 97, where Madball was kind of like, they play shows and there wouldn't be a ton of people. Then they play New York and there'd be a ton of people.
Well, I was trying to make a comparison of like
Yeah.
you guys seeing bands, like let's say E-Town was a band that was
Sure.
playing fucking huge tours, right? With fucking
By like 2001, they're selling out Starland.
Yeah.
They're big,
So like seeing them at a huge show, like at a concert, and then seeing them at a show, a hardcore show, I guess that would be the same thing as me seeing Code Orange with System of a Down at fucking Webster, fucking Madison Square Garden,
Sure,
compared to them seeing them at fucking This Is Hardcore.
Right.
I think me being a fan of the band, I would want to see the same performance.
Sure.
Because like that's a part of the band just as much as the music.
It
is,
would
you
feel
know?
ingenuine if that performance was
I
different.
want to
Sure.
see Jamie fucking calling people assholes
Saying
and
his
cowards and
shit,
shit
yeah.
like that. Whether I'm giggling at it or not, That's what I want to see Goldman fucking smashing his.
So
face
you
in his
know
face.
these dudes.
Yeah, I know 'em.
And now, like, separate Code Orange, and don't even make this about Code Orange. Could you see there being a band as a 22-year-old who's like nah, man, they're too professional, they're too slick, they're not hardcore.
For
Yeah,
sure, because
okay,
there's a lot of assholes my age that are like, oh no, like, fucking, I like when music sounds bad. We should fucking record this through a cassette player because I want it to sound raw. Yeah. No, man. I mean,
that's always
things
been
can
there.
sound shitty. Yeah, things can sound shitty and it's cool, and things can sound good and it's cool. But like, I'm not the kind of person that like needs things to be like gritty, hardcore all the time, 90%. Because I want shit to sound good. I fucking love Biohazard and that shit sounds awesome, you know. And I like Side by Side and that shit sounds like trash.
True.
So like,
Except the Revelation one was good. The reissue was very good. I don't know if you had
Sounded
anything to
good,
do
you
with that.
think?
I
No,
thought so.
didn't. All right, next. So Code Orange.
But I mean, I think that's funny because in our age range, I think people were like are kind of turned off. Not by them, but back then, the pro hardcore thing
Yes.
would be like, relax.
No, I
You're
mean-
playing
I
a
mean,
fucking VFW
100%.
hall in Old Bridge.
100%
Don't put on the
would not have flown. Would not have flown in a previous era.
And I'm gonna name a band.
Let me stop. I'm gonna stop because I think there's always been that, and there still is. Seb's saying that, and that's one thing that's kind of a universal. Thankfully, is that there's always gonna be that motherfucker who's like, the demo is better. Oh, the raw recording. Oh, they went and recorded this. Oh, it's too big. It's on this big label. Oh, I like them better when that existed for us. And now I will say, I think that the more like professional presentation, if we even want to put it there, was harder to stomach in the translation. But I always felt, I'm with Seb. I was like, if you're going to put on the same way. If you're going to be shitty when you go play, be shitty. If you're going to be great whether you're on the small stage or the big stage.
Well, are you talking about banter or are you talking about sound?
Sound. I want. If
Oh
you're
no,
gonna
sound
do
I
that,
get.
yeah,
You don't
right.
want to go out there and sound like a fucking black metal band just because you want to seem like you're so.
You want to
punk.
seem down, like we left our, and I think
Like,
that's
we left our stuff at
that's
home.
some bullshit,
We're borrowing
you know what
whatever
I mean?
we have.
Like
But I'm saying the whole,
Ignite comes through, and they're
That's-
playing a
that's
small
its own
place.
podcast.
They're still trying to like do their tuning and the same stuff there as if they're on a huge stage.
and that's fine. But I think the whole I think people used to get turned off by the what's up, everybody? Like, all right, I like the
What's
dudes in the
up,
ba-
Springfield?
Yeah.
I feel like we got an axe to grind. Go on.
I'm not grinding any axes.
Name names.
All right, so a band back in the day, not even that long ago, but that we'd always be like, here we go, Stretch Armstrong. They were the stereotypical professional hardcore band.
Yeah.
That would have it was the same fucking speech
Yeah,
every
felt
time.
felt scripted, the
Right.
whole
It was
thing, yeah.
like, what's going on, everybody? Like, it was like they had
They
this thing
jumped at
down.
the same time every time.
Right.
The whole thing.
Everyone had wireless. It was like, all right.
No, here's the thing. If I fucked with Stretch Armstrong, and that's what they
Very,
were the
very
first
nice
time,
dudes.
and if that's what they were the first time, when I saw them with a little band or a big band, I probably was still. But I mean, some of that stuff gets corny. Whether it's a
That's what I
band
mean.
playing their first show or not.
Right.
I don't know.
But I think I always use Sick of It All as the reference point because
Because you love Sick of It All. You
Because-
talk about them all the time.
I love Sick of It All, but also because
Do you?
I think
Oh, here we go.
I think Scratch the Surface is as good a record as you will find in hardcore music. I
Agreed.
think it is fucking great. Back to the point. They've played Russian festivals in front of 20,000
yeah.
people, and then also we could see them this year in the U.S. in front of
Warped Tour,
85.
and pictures, yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, they navigated the pro/hardcore waters the same way that Code Orange is
That's
now.
an interesting comparison. That's an
Yeah,
interesting
that's a better
comparison.
comparison.
I can see
That's
that.
interesting.
Where the kid who was not at the local show would go to the Sick of It All show guaranteed, but also the local kid would come to the Sick of It All show. And that, if you can get that,
Then you're good.
oh, you're good.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I mean?
golden.
That's as good as you're getting in fucking aggressive music. If you can get mall guy who only hears about the big shows, and then also the
Local kid who's at every show.
Yeah,
then
you're
good.
killing it.
Yeah.
It's like Title Fight too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a
And that's
great,
why they
that's
were
a
so
great
big.
example. That's a great example.
Hardcore kids would go to a big Title Fight show to like put on,
Right.
to support the band, whereas kids from the mall will go because they love Title Fight.
And kids from the mall go to the small show because they've found out Title Fight's playing down the road. Oh, I got to go check that out.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Seb, give us your list.
All right, Shmuel.
Tom, thank you.
I had a top
Thank you
10
for beating me.
hardcore and then top 10 not hardcore.
You see,
Hit us-
it's a man by
However
my
you
own
wanna
heart.
mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up
So I'll
if
just
something
tell you my
speaks to you.
favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Division of Mind demo.
Yes.
From Richmond. It's like cold as life, but like if they all wore like black.
My comparison was Death Threat smashed up with Panic.
Yeah.
I like that.
But
So not holding-
but the dudes from Death Threat are playing, and the dudes from Panic are trying to write some songs, and the dudes from Death Threat are like, "Nah, we got this. We'll write these
It's
songs."
the singer of Ink and Dagger. And
Yeah.
Sid.
So it's not.
All
It's
right.
they don't wear black like Holy Terror dudes. They wear black like
punks.
like Boston of
Well,
a certain era.
Dude, the singer, this dude Lee, that motherfucker is straight up vampire. Like,
Really?
I respect it.
He's fucking sick.
He was in that band Heart Stripes.
Yeah, he sang in Hard Stripes and DOM.
Grave
totally
Mistake
different
record.
band.
Yeah.
And
just
now he's
put
a
out-
vampire? What are we talking about?
He's just always, for as long as I've known him, a couple years, he's just like, I've only seen him in black. His eyes are like sunken into his head. He's a scary looking guy. He's
Okay.
nice.
All
but
right.
He's got a
got a
cool
look.
vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And the band is fucking sick.
Yeah, that
The
record's
Illusion demo,
very good.
which is like just straight up like New York hardcore shit.
But groove, there's a lot of groove
Yeah.
in that, and I mean, yeah, I kind of I wish I had better reference points for it, but it really
like it.
does that. I like it a lot. What I think is, I think that their next record is gonna bang.
Yep. It's gonna be sick. We said the Power Trip record. I think that was probably one of my favorite records of the year, easily. The Vane did like a split with this band from Atlanta called Gift from God, but like I consider their 4 songs in that their record. Their
Sure.
Sure, sure.
Like therefore,
And I think it's fucking amazing.
Yep.
It's fucking badass.
So what do you think? I mean, sell me on Vane.
It's like just chaotic, like a screamo band with like breakdowns.
Okay.
And like
Heavy.
It's heavy as fuck. And like scary like notes, harmonics,
Okay,
dissonant chords. I don't know shit about music.
that's fine.
These
That's,
are-
no.
Yeah.
You speak with your emotions. And that's it. That's all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you came to the
Yeah.
right place
Vibe.
for people that don't know shit
Yeah,
about
or-
music.
yeah.
The way I've described it is like
That's made a
looking
life out
into
of it.
like a kaleidoscope, but the inside is just made of like razor blades.
That's good.
That's
You,
good.
you should write the bio.
Yeah, that's straight.
Yeah,
up.
really.
That's some
Shit is
Spin
badass.
magazine review right
Justin
there.
Loudon, we'll put you in
They're
touch.
fucking good. Live too, like their drummer is probably the best hardcore drummer I've seen, arguably,
Yeah.
literally ever.
What kind, is he double bass in it? What are we saying?
He has double bass, but he's just like the shit they play is he like. I don't want to say he overplays because that paints him in a negative light, but he just does like crazy shit that like people that I know that don't fuck with the band at all like hate the band. They'll see the drummer and be like, dude, I can't.
Yeah,
that motherfucker's
can't fuck
good.
with him.
I'm going to
Yeah.
jump in now in the same way that you jumped in on Code Orange. Vane, this is not an axe to grind. I met the kids, nice kids. This is going to sound so fucking pompous and dickheaded.
Go.
From you?
I just,
Weird.
you got to show me more. I need more. You can't give me
so?
8 minutes of songs.
Because they have
Well,
4
yeah.
2-minute
Well,
songs.
They have before this.
They were around for a
this
long
is the
time before
this
anybody-
is the shortest collection of songs they have. They have like 2 7-inches. They might have an LP.
Yeah, but was it any good?
Yeah.
They were around for a
We-
really long
dude,
time before people got
Yeah,
hip to them.
Regulate played one of their first shows in Massachusetts in like 2015, and I saw it, and it was fucking insane. People were loving it, and actually something funny. We played with them, and I got a Facebook message that I didn't see until about this past July. That was sent to me in 2015. That was in like my others, so you don't.
Right.
get
Yeah.
notifications.
I'm
Sure.
familiar with the
Yeah.
others.
And it's one of the guys in Vane, like, hey, we just played with Regulate. You guys are fucking sick. You want to do a weekend?
And now you're going to hit him up like, so what's up with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, Now,
Think about it every day, and I fucking want to kick my own ass.
All right,
You can hit him
so,
up and be like, hey, man.
so
I'm
quick
fucking gonna.
quick pause for our sponsor, Closed Casket Activities. The new
yeah,
Vane
yeah.
record is
New Vane
dropping
record.
in 2018.
Fire burns on
Yeah,
that
they
record.
came
yeah,
out.
Yep.
we've our insider knowledge is that the Vane record is hot, but
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well,
yeah.
they played a new song the other day at the Bachelor record release. It's way more melodic.
Okay.
But it's still like fucked up.
Yeah, and so for the old heads who might be listening to this, the comparison I always get for Vane, Code Orange is an easy go-to for comparable, but young dudes are like, nah. And then older dudes are like, I hear Converge.
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's just
too.
chaos.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Very chaotic, but chaotic. But it's still, I feel like they still reel it in. I
Okay.
feel like they're not just playing notes to play notes. You know what I mean?
Bang.
It's
And I
still
feel
very
like that.
organized.
Do you think that this is hardcore set with like? I know the Windbreakers became like a meme and shit, but do you think that was like their Code Orange moment that like
Oh,
people
no
were like,
question. I think
"What
so.
the fuck?"
Or their trash talk moment. If we're
Sure,
if we're
sure,
gonna
yeah.
go back
Go
further.
back, go back.
And here's my question: how do you think "Gift from God" feels today?
I don't fucking know. I never listened to that song.
Never listened.
Split. They're a screamo band. I'm a screamo guy. I just never cared because the Vane side is so much better.
I mean, it's gift from God. It's
It's
a
literally
title of yeah.
GIF.
No, I think that listen.
Wait,
It's like
Stop.
dot
yes,
tiff from
yes,
Jesus.
Yes,
It's
yes. Like,
dot wave from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Like-
but
not
that's-
like shooting the gif. Like here's like a
but
fucking moving
That
photo.
reminds me of "Burnt by the Sun" Luddite Clone split, where I've never met anybody that's heard a Luddite Clone song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody.
It's not a big record, yeah.
But everybody has heard
Everybody flipped the record over.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
But okay, go
Please
on.
continue.
Vane, you just got to show me more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think they have a lot of potential.
The LP
casket.
will probably definitely
Closed
for
casket.
it'll- Day by Day from now on. Their
like it.
second LP.
That one I don't know.
badass.
All right, let's talk about it day by day. So
Florida.
they're on my top 10.
Yeah.
But it's live. because I think they still haven't nailed the recording. I think they're
Agreed.
so
I feel like the
fucking good
production
live.
just needs to sound bigger.
That's the thing. I think it's all production because I can hear it and I'm like, man, there's just some shit here that they got to get them to a studio here. South Florida, it's crazy. There's a bunch of shit going on.
A lot going on.
All different
Forever.
stuff. And just, especially if you're an old dude and you haven't checked out, what are the bands to check out from South Florida?
Eco Strike.
Day by Day.
Yeah, I know, I'm not too big on Eco Strike, but I know a lot of
A
people.
lot of people love Eco
Sounds like
Strike.
Strife. It's
yeah,
fucking-
a lot of
yeah.
people fuck with them.
Hit List,
Hit
Day
List.
by Day,
Descent.
Descent.
Is it Descent?
I haven't listened
Is
to that.
Vine from down there?
Deflect. You're thinking
Deflect
about.
is what I'm thinking.
Wait, what's the
Deflect.
shit? What's
I really
the
like
what's the
Deflect.
shit I heard the other day that's got the machine guns in the fucking in the song? It's something that people told me doesn't leave. It doesn't leave Florida.
Oh, 3 Knee Deep.
Oh, that's
3 knee deep.
3D Deep is
That's
that's
a conversation for.
let's say that's Tampa.
It's got machine guns in it. I fucking love it.
Have you been to Tampa? Yeah, I mean, it makes
I
sense.
love
You
it.
need to look at them. You
I
gotta
fucking
scout them.
love it.
Also, Sleight of Hand from South Florida.
Yeah.
They sound like
Oh
Sound
yeah, that
Majority.
shit's good.
They're
I really
awesome.
like
Oh, wow.
Sleight of Hand.
I'd be.
Yeah, that Sleight of Hand. If
right.
you haven't heard that,
speak
check it
my
out.
language?
Yeah.
And like, yo, we can consensusly say melodic hardcore's been dead for about 8 years now. This shit was
Sleight of
putting it
Hand is doing
fucking,
it right.
and they're doing it really well, really well.
You know what? Melodic hardcore dead for good reason for a long time.
But
Although,
hasn't that become pop punk?
well, I just heard
Well,
I just heard the Breakaway record. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You think
That
it's melodic?
that's more melodic than I was anticipating
Okay.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But and that's where it starts. It starts with that type of melodicism,
Yes.
and then people it inches and now I'm
We'll
scared.
see. No, so I mean, let's talk melodic. I think there just was a split. Trapped Under Ice came around and just fucking boot down on melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh,
Oh,
shit!"
right, yeah,
and the people who were doing melodic went that Touche Amore
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Lot of
That's where
street,
that went, and then or the Run for Cover Records route. And a lot of good stuff over there. But I'd be reluctant to call much of it melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
So Long Island, where you at? You got to come back with something. All right.
Dude, fucking the Smiths brothers, the guys that play in Backtrack,
Mm-hmm.
and the guitarist of Hangman, they're all brothers. They got a new band called Field Day.
Field Day. Oh wow, like
Yeah.
my second favorite Dag Nasty record.
There you go. All right.
That's like melodic shit.
Yeah. All right, so keep going.
Slow Fire Pistol, a screamo band from Atlanta. They're awesome.
Good band.
Dude from Foundation.
Yeah.
Is that
really
true?
good.
Hank.
My
Really?
favorite,
Yeah.
my
Great.
favorite post
No shit.
foundation stuff. I don't know what those other dudes are doing, but it's
Nothing.
good. Yeah, Still Fire Pistol's
Abuse
cool.
of Power.
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
the-
I
the
like
bass player.
I like this better than Abuse
Yeah,
of
me
Power.
too. Firm Standing Law from England / Wilkes-Barre, I guess.
All right, can
Hard
we,
name.
No, okay.
Well, it's the dude from Cold World.
Yeah,
Oh, is that
and
right?
a bunch of British dudes. It's hard.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so who likes Chorus of Disapproval?
Yeah.
Right here.
Have you heard Chorus of Disapproval, Sam? Okay.
That's where the
Oh my God. Well, it's where it comes from, but it's worship. And if you like Chorus of Disapproval, you will like Firm Standing Law. If you like Firm Standing Law, please listen to Chorus of Disapproval. Not all tracks bang, but the ones that do. Ooh,
Yeah.
very good.
very good.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're playing the first U.S. shows.
Coming up.
FYA. I think
Yep.
they're doing a little run.
Yeah,
down
getting
from
rich. I think
up here,
from Richmond
right?
down
Oh,
to.
yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
they're.
If anyone had told me Chorus of Disapproval would have a worship band, I would.
Yeah, man.
That would blows my mind.
But it's the guy that's probably in his late 30s, early 40s anyway. So it's not like it's
Dan's there. Yeah.
right. I mean, he's in our
Yeah,
you
Dan's
know.
there, but you know what? I want to. It's not necessarily Dan. Dan's living over in England now.
Yeah.
He's been over there for a few years. What I've been told, I was over there last winter. I was told that this group of young guys in England just have like a love for old American hardcore and just do it right. I don't think it's the same guys, but it's a similar circle as Violent Reaction, a few of these other bands, and they have
Arms Race and
right,
all- yeah.
yeah, and they have bands. There's some band over there that sounds just like Outburst, and it's like, oh, this shit's good, and it's good. And it's not like sounds just like Outburst, like they're playing the songs backwards. It's just a similar thing.
Right.
And Firm Standing Law is kind of part of that.
They're
It's
awesome.
Yeah.
Can I jump off Outburst because I want a young man's opinion on this?
Yes, go.
Are you on board with the backlash against Outburst doing a second show? Because I feel like a lot of young dudes catching
I
feelings
was actually talking about this.
that they should have left it at the Killing Time show because they killed it.
Alright.
Them doing any more, it's kind
It's
of
the
whack.
difference between a young hardcore kid and a young hardcore kid from New York. Because like I feel very territorial with those bands.
Sure.
Like Crumbsuckers did it right. They played the Super Bowl and that was it.
Okay.
Right? I hope Outburst never plays again because I was at that show and it was fucking incredible.
So you don't think they'll ever top that? So like,
I don't
bother?
think they'll top it because my understanding, I thought Outburst was like a huge hardcore, like a historic hardcore band, and I'm being told by some guys that are a little older than me that they're just not.
Okay,
like
let's-
people don't love them the way I thought everyone loved
You
them.
want? Let's do some hardcore 101 right here. So,
Sure.
Outburst was a band who certainly had a minute, but they kind of missed the wave. They're like 90, 91.
Right.
And they were always the little brother band of bands like Killing Time,
Right.
etc.
Breakdown and-
Breakdown. But they had a minute, but it was after everything happened. And the record was just, you could go in the late 90s, you could find it anywhere.
Yeah.
The 7-inch, and you could get it. Those dudes in Boston, Stop and Think, some of the guys from Right Brigade, all that, the early Lock and Out stuff, they put a spotlight on it that shined so fucking hard that it exposed it to so many people. And it made it, they were definitely one of the
It became a desirable record
Yeah.
out of literally thin air.
It went from a $10 or $15 record to a $150 record in like a year.
I didn't know it was such like a, I guess, I don't want to say niche thing, but like, I feel like it kind of is. I guess living in New York and being around older New York guys, I always just had this idea of it being this huge, ginormous thing.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about if they played a second show and it was like a fest and it not going over well, I don't
Which it
want
won't.
those guys.
It
Yeah,
won't,
I don't
right.
want those guys playing
No.
that show and be like, "Oh man, we suck."
That band's great, and they're one of my favorite. I put them right in that upper echelon, even though historically people are like, no. They're a step
crazy,
down,
man.
which is crazy because that record's great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is perfect.
They're like junior varsity.
They're like junior varsity,
Honestly,
but
yeah.
in hindsight, you go, how can that be? I like that almost as much as like Killing Time LP. You know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of the junior varsity bands are better.
Right.
20 years later,
Right.
they're better. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Like here's the thing: when you
What's
go
hot
for
then?
harder hardcore from that time period, like Outburst, that record smokes. If you want to start talking about Gut Instinct, I love that record, but that's like that's some like third
that's
rate
tertiary,
shit.
yeah.
That's some real rap bastard shit. That's some like, if you're from Baltimore, I get you. I love you for it, but that record don't matter.
Right. So you
much
think
is-
them playing St. Vitus is like,
Bad
you're
idea.
not psyched?
I think that's
I'll
a bad
be
idea.
there, but it's
I
not.
mean, I think it's a good show, kind of. Like, I think
Yeah,
it's a
it
good
should
show
be.
for
Yeah,
their,
yeah,
you know.
I don't think. I'm hoping they're not going into it thinking they're gonna get the same reaction they did at the Bazaar. Because
Yeah.
they're not.
Sure.
I mean, just by there's gonna be a lot less people there.
Yeah, true.
And I don't think there's that much like allure, gravitas on
Right.
the show. You know.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, when these older bands do it, the one and done. That's, you said the Crumbsuckers did it right.
That's the
when
right
they
way,
start
but
going over and over
I'm
and
trying
over.
to like.
Say it. Say
it.
names. You got names in your mouth. I see it.
I think Burn is a like incredible band, like in all facets, lyrics, the vibe, the art, the music. But like, I don't know what the fuck those guys are doing now, man. What the fuck is that shit?
We can
Stop.
we can
Yeah.
address that and American Nightmare. That's his own
Yeah,
conversation.
dude.
We're gonna have you back for another episode because there's a lot
Seb,
going on.
You're just gonna be a regular.
Burn just. I mean, that's. I don't want to.
Do you fuck with that new record?
No.
No. Okay.
Does anyone in your age range fuck with that new record?
No, sir.
Tom,
No,
do you
right?
fuck with that record?
I can't really speak about that because I'm their lawyer.
Okay, that's right. Well, so
wow.
here.
So,
Don't
I
sue
mean,
me,
I
man.
think it's, no, I mean,
crazy.
we're gonna
I
have
think-
like the beep.
yeah, and have you seen Gavin? He will beat the shit out of all of us.
No,
so I'm not trying
Take
to
it back.
No, can I say this?
I
I don't need
respect
that.
that as a reunion band, they're trying to make new shit. I respect it. They're kind of like, they're out of touch. And that's fine
So let me
because
say this.
they're in their mid to late 40s. They don't know what the fuck, like what, Blind Justice, regular, whatever. Like they're
Right.
fucking 47-year-old dudes that have been out of it.
Right. So let me say this.
Yeah.
I actually think Isolated, low expectations going in. I think that record's okay.
The music's great.
But, and I mean, here's the thing.
Drummer's amazing.
I went in going, Chaka is X years old. He's not going to sound like he did
No.
when he was 20 or whatever.
27 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But the mistake, and this is a mistake, and Burn, I love you. I literally love your band. Re-recording old songs.
Never.
Yeah.
Re-recording.
Never.
Now, if you're a young man, regulate. If you have a couple bangers on those demos people don't really listen to,
Yeah.
re-record them because you're a better band
There you
now.
go, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I like that.
Right, but you don't need to
But-
record Numerality
No,
15
these
years.
classic
yeah.
tracks that
Yeah.
were from your classic, because you hear it and I'm like, ugh, even if it sounded good, even if it was isolated good,
You don't want that.
because I'm comparing it to the old shit, and then I'm all of a sudden comparing your new songs to the old shit,
Correct.
as opposed to isolating them. So
And I think in reality, if you put that band in front of non-hardcore kids, they would murder it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like
Chaka
something
is
weird.
still a
Oh,
great
it's
front
amazing
man.
energy.
They sound amazing. Abbas, the drummer's incredible. The bass player is great. Like, they're just not cut
What do
out
you
for
think-
these days.
What do you think live? Because I'll say this: when I first saw Burn, it was a long lead up. It was like, oh shit, anticipated, and they didn't disappoint. And then I saw them again, and I saw them. They played that show with the Cro-Mags at CB's.
Yeah,
And
the final mosh, right?
right, no,
No,
it was later. But it was Age of Quarrel. It was
2001.
John Joseph,
That's right.
It was
Right.
John Joseph Cro-Mags.
With American Nightmare and them
That's right, and it was John Joseph and Harley,
and Frontline.
and Burn stole the show,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that was fucked up.
What year was that?
2001. Right. And that Burn steals the show from the Cro-Mags at CB's when it's JJ and Harley on stage. And it's like, oh shit, what
But
did
no
I just
Mackie.
see? And no Mackie. But so Sell It In. Now, when you've seen them live, what did you think? Were you like, oh, this was amazing? Or was it like, oh, that was good?
Well, I was at the first Union show.
Yep.
And it was like when I saw Judge, like I had like butterflies in my stomach because I think Burn is one of those like mysterious hardcore bands, you know,
Sure.
especially because Shaka just has like this thing around him, you know, like pictures you've seen of him and shit like that. And I feel like he fell off for a while, and people my age don't know about him other than what you see in pictures on the internet and what you hear in the music. Right. So when they played, I thought it was amazing.
It's got the coolest vibe in hardcore.
It was I
mean,
it was
no
the
doubt.
sickest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
They played United Blood. I watched them.
How'd they go over?
It was all right.
Just all right.
It was just okay.
Because I feel like those 7-inch songs don't even go over that big anymore. Like at a hardcore show.
Well, so my read was I saw him at Super Bowl, the first show back in this
Yeah.
this wave, and I was like, I was cool, but it wasn't what it was. But you know, part of that is I was 20, so seeing it when you're 20, you're like, oh shit, oh
And
my
that
God.
was also the biggest they'd ever been.
Right,
Yeah.
totally was.
Yeah,
and
I
so
mean-
that and you know, it's just so when I saw him, I was like, I tempered it and I said, you know what, man, 34-year-old me, however old I was like, yeah, it's cool. I still enjoyed it. I had a good time. I saw him again, and I just was like, oh. And some younger people were like, oh, I thought they were really good, great. But when I saw them, it was one of those oh shit moments of like, yo, what did I just see on the fucking stage? That's some life-changing stuff. And to hear kind of the, yeah, pretty cool. It was like,
Well, that's the problem, is that if they didn't have the reputation for being one of hardcore's best live acts ever, then where they're at now, they'd be a really, really solid hardcore act that we'd all enjoy.
I still think they're a great live band.
How many
Right.
good records does Burn have?
One.
I mean, they have.
Well, the first
they
half,
have
no,
they the
7-inch is-
subtitled 7-inch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they
It's
have
Cleanse, right? After that?
no. They do well. There's 3 songs. The Numerality,
Right.
which is
On
on
a
a
comp.
7-inch, Last Great C.
Yeah.
They call it. It's Numerality,
yeah.
Tales of Chateau. That's 7 songs that are undeniable. Some people fuck with Cleanse.
I fuck
do-
with Cleanse.
I do not fuck with
Didn't
Cleanse.
they open with the Cleanse song?
They
Yes,
opened with the
and it went
song
over.
Cleanse,
Yeah,
and
that
people were
was
vibing
weird,
on it,
man.
but it kind of put me in a weird spot. But that's fine because a lot of people I'm very close with are like, Cleanse, that's a great record, and I'm like,
That record came out and then they were gone. So
Right.
they never really played those songs. They never got any reactions to those
Right,
songs.
right.
It went
So
over
hard.
huge, I thought.
that show for sure.
Even
sure.
with that, yeah.
All right, we got to move on. Burn.
Yes.
We'll talk more about you later.
I love Burn.
Outburst, don't play another show again, please.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, for non-hardcore things, the National record, it's awesome.
man.
The one before, with the
Half
Yes.
the face,
girl,
yeah.
that record's, I think that's the best one.
Yes. Sorry.
Land of Talk record is awesome.
Okay.
Tennis, Yours Conditionally, that shit is nice.
Losing me here.
Yeah, how come
You-
Bob is
you
fucking
like
shaking
it,
his head on this
man.
shit?
I'm
just-
Or the stuff I
you know
had.
what? Because you got
No, I'll probably be into it.
Okay, tell us. All right. Oh, hold on. Give us some tennis. Tell me what
Tennis is like, it's like real like, it's like walking at night music.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like real nice and mellow and shit.
Okay.
It's, I don't know.
You just sold Tom.
It's all me. I'm
Lost
done.
me. Go
I'm in.
Tennis is in.
I'm going to listen on the ride home. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, I don't think.
Go ahead.
Playboy Cardi self-titled.
Okay.
He's a
All right.
rapper.
All right,
That's
yeah.
young man
Cool.
rap,
No,
though.
no, no.
That's like
But I'm
with
with
Joe
that.
Butt.
I'm with
Okay,
that.
that's
When
great.
that's on, I'm all right with it.
Okay.
New Migos LP Culture. That's good. Okay, I could talk about Migos forever because I'm a Migos OG.
Give us a minute on Migos because it's
Okay.
big.
The mixtapes are fucking incredible. Like there's like 20 something songs in each of them as mixtapes should be, and they're all amazing. And then they started getting big is a weird term because they've always been big within hip hop.
Sure.
But then they started putting out LPs like in like Best Buy and Walmart, and it's been like whatever. But Culture is the first one that I've listened to that it reminds me of the mixtapes.
Okay.
And it's awesome, and I'm glad they're all fucking millionaires and all that. It's awesome. 2 Chainz, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, great record. Big 2 Chainz fan. Kendrick Lamar record. That's the best rap album of the year.
It's gotta be.
obviously.
Yeah.
And Calvin Harris, Funk Wave Bounces.
I've heard people advocate
too.
for this one a
Same.
lot.
Okay, Calvin Harris is like some like
Like he's like a DJ, right? Like just
Yeah,
like
he's a
a,
guy
yeah.
that looks like
Yeah,
me.
like
He
average
literally.
Hey, he had
but
he dated
it's-
Taylor Swift.
The
so
whole
he's better.
record is just him doing like beats and then everyone that's on the radio singing on the songs, and it's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like background music to me. Like
Okay.
radio
And you can
music.
ride with it. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. I think the new Terror EP is the best thing they've done since Keepers of the Faith. Easily,
I might roll with that.
Walls Will Fall. It's
Okay.
awesome.
I might roll with that.
Yeah,
So what are you saying about the last couple Terror records?
I don't really like them.
You don't really?
I like a couple songs off of
Live by the code.
no 25th Hour.
Okay.
The Solution, the intro. There's a few songs.
Okay.
They're good.
So you think these new songs will end up being some canon? They'll be playing those for a while.
The tour we just did with them, I think they played one. They played Kill 'Em All Off.
Okay.
It was like the single. It was awesome. But yeah, definitely way better than anything they put
And they
out.
put out such volume. It's insane.
Well, no, I mean, there's another band like musically. I'm just here or there. It's good. When I listen to it, I'm like, oh, okay, but it just never really clicked with me at the time. But
Not even that first like demo when that first came out. You're like, what
but
the
that's
fuck?
that's a different thing. But
Okay.
but they
There's an axe to grind.
There's definitely an axe to grind.
no, not even because my TJ's my boy. But they you can't. They're one of the bands that I look at, and it's so fucking interesting to see the waves they go through. You know what I mean?
Well, career band. That's why it's a
And they
career.
do it
It's
well.
cool, but that's so fucking cool to see it because, and this is something as an old person I hope you get, and I hope young people get it. That's fucking cool. Do shit you love. That dude's up there doing his thing. Fuck it. He's doing it, and he's doing it, and he's living it, and it's hard. And those are working, and they're grinding, and that's fucking cool. So,
Yeah, well,
And they do it the right way though, because they're doing these tours that
I was just about to get to this.
Right.
When we see, like, when dudes.
Is Seb done? I'm sorry. Before we,
I'm pretty much done. Mind Force record.
Mine-
Okay.
that
we-
band,
uh,
I forgot that record's
Yeah,
good.
I just
I
got
like that
turned
a lot,
on to this recently. It is good. You know, it
I
is-
love Leeway and I love it.
So here's the thing. Watching Terror open for acts that maybe we don't think are that hot, right? You hear kids on the internet jump on them for that shit and it's always somebody that you can tell is 25 who's like, this is so fucked up. And it's like, yo, firstly, why are you that invested? And secondly, like, it's not fucked up. The thing that bands do is play underneath bigger bands to get bigger. It is just a fact of life. It's bizarre that anybody should
that
have an
Knocked Loose
issue
thing
with
is
this.
brilliant.
So why don't we talk about
It's the best
Knocked Loose?
move. It's the best move.
I think Terror is very self-aware. They know they're
Exactly.
going to get smoked by Knock Loose if they're doing a huge tour like that. They're going to get good reactions. You know, people are going to either hardcore kids are going to come out and dance, or knock loose kids will come and see Terror and be like, "Whoa, this is awesome."
Yo, tell me about Knocked Loose.
Yeah,
'cause
what is a
let's
Knocked
talk
Loose
about
kid?
Knocked Loose.
Like,
Knocked
honestly,
Loose kid. Dude,
I'm curious
I
because
fucking hate Knocked Loose for everything inside of me.
like
But-
axe to grind, like
but
beef,
I-
or just you don't like the music.
it's like
you can
It's
say
a little bit. Yeah,
it's an
no,
axe to
no.
grind.
It's nothing personal.
No
but
personal,
They have
right.
a lyric that says, "I'm not straight edge. I just rather be sober." What the
Yeah,
fuck
those
is
lyrics
that?
got shared
Get
around
the
to me.
fuck
Yeah.
out.
I mean, they're also kids that don't really like. They didn't grow up listening to fucking Youth Today, so they don't totally get it.
Yeah, but I didn't fucking listen to.
But you know what I'm saying? No, you're a hardcore dude. Like those dudes.
I wouldn't
are-
even-
Well, we're gonna do
Fair.
a whole episode about Uncanny Valley hardcore, where it's that where it's that shit that like it could have been. Maybe the kids could have been down with it in another world, but for whatever reason, it's just they're not. But like, Knocked Loose is the best example of that.
Yeah.
Because to me, it sounds like not a great version of Code Orange. That's what it sounds like to me.
Really?
Right?
Someone
Yeah.
described it as boneless Code Orange.
That's okay. So that's what it
is
sounds like to me.
Yo, honestly, I will say
Wouldn't
this.
it?
I will say this. I wouldn't make that comparison to Code Orange because Code Orange is so much more coherent.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as a dude who's like, yo, that ain't my shit. But Code Orange has like their songs are written, and Knock Loose, it's a lot of parts put together to me. But
Riffarama.
right, and now here's the question, and different. Like I listened to one of their songs, and I was like, this sounds like all these different subgenres of hardcore just taped together, and that's it's amazing how big it is. Knock Loose asked Regulate to go on a U.S. tour. Do you go?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
See,
I respect that.
So, let me just interrupt.
Knock Loose asked Drug Church to go on a U.S. tour.
Fuck yes, we'll do it tomorrow. Here's
But
the-
now that's Drug Church is pays Pat's rent.
That's right.
well, Drug Church.
Seb doesn't
also-
depend on Regulate to like
Also,
live.
Drug
Yo,
Church.
don't speculate on Regulate money. Come on.
You know, I'm sure they're doing great, but I'm saying like
Also, okay, let's cut more to the core. Drug Church is not a hardcore band, so we can.
You have no-
We can play. There's no sort of like.
skin in the game. Doesn't matter.
Now I hear Knocked Loose, and okay, so here's the fascinating conversation. Backstage, same conversation where we were talking about Code Orange. Knocked Loose came up. The pop punk dudes in the room understood that hardcore kids saw Knocked Loose as something other than hardcore, but could not understand why. And I think that's fascinating because musically, I think that it could very well be a hardcore band. Now we can all argue if it's good or not, whatever. But like, it could.
What
very
makes
well-
them any different? Is
What makes them any different?
like
And
what
that's
is like stick to your guns? How is that
correct.
different from Shy
Incendiary?
Hulk?
Honestly,
Or any of those
rapping
bands.
on all these records.
Right, or the Ghost Inside? How's that different from fucking whatever?
Poison the Well, whatever.
Right.
So
You know what I mean? No, but like, there's no real difference. It's
none.
just where that could have been Suburban Scum.
correct.
Like, I really feel like if Suburban Scum
Sure.
stuff didn't happen, they could have been Knocked Loose because it's they're a more coherent version of that. I thought.
But I don't know if kids want coherent. But
Right.
anyway,
You know what I mean.
the point is that like that uncanny valley of like this looks like me, but I don't think it is me, and for that reason I don't like it. Is like a fascinating.
But they look like hardcore kids.
No, I don't know. It's
Long
like-
hair. Everyone looks like that shit.
Is that what kids look like?
I don't know.
Seb-
Well, like, Seb's a clean cut dude, but like there's a lot of dudes with like fucking mullets and fucking flannels.
But
'cause-
that's the interior of the country, I think. I think that's
Midwest
because Knock Loose. Listen, I think the old dudes in the room don't have a feeling on Knock Loose.
None.
Isn't that the
None.
feeling? Like
It's
there's-
like
they don't
aliens,
enrage
man.
me, and they don't.
Yeah,
no,
same-
it's fun.
same
You know
here.
what? And I will say this: that's kind of like apathy is worse than hatred.
Well,
I'm
listen,
just like,
but,
whatever, I
but
don't
like
care.
young people
Well, it's not
feel
for
away.
us.
Yes.
Young people either love that band and ride for that band,
And
or they
defend it,
hate
right,
it,
right,
or they
yeah.
hate
The
it.
general consensus between my friends is that we don't like it. I'm not like dumb. I understand why people like it. Like, I think if I was like 13, I'd be like, oh, okay, this shit is okay.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with Knock Loose is that the whole metalcore revival thing, or what we want to call
Right,
it,
yeah.
Knock Loose listened to, it sounds like they listened to every one of those bands, picked a riff from each song, and then made one song out of it. And then they just played it in like a lower tuning, slower.
Yeah.
And then
point.
the singer said some bullshit like, I'm not straight edge, I just want to be sober, or some bullshit like that. And people fucking eat it up. I don't know why it's cool to like play the slowest and lowest you can play right now, and
with
people
you.
just can't believe it.
Post
like-
deathcore.
Yeah,
It's a young
yeah.
person that was.
So I mean, here's the thing:
Deathcore
if
dude.
13-year-olds,
Fucking get
if
it,
you were
man.
13 years old now and listening to Knocked Loose, you might evolve,
fuck
and
with it.
you might, you probably would at 13.
And then you go see
might,
Terror.
but no, and and then you evolve out of it. But then you turn 22, 23, 24, and you go back to that
You're back.
Knocked Loose, and you go, "Yo, man, that was my shit."
That's
And
what's gonna happen in 20
Yes,
years.
yes.
And that is the explanation of the metalcore revival right now.
Because it was
Is-
whack.
It was
like,
whack.
the-
There was a
dude.
real separation between
Martyr AD
that stuff.
particularly
I
was
love
whack.
metalcore though.
Yeah.
That was
But the
straight new
shit
metal.
coming out
Yes.
now is so bad. I think Martyr AD is sick.
What is?
But at the time, I got to tell you,
It was straight new metal. We were like,
Martyr
what
AD
the
was the
fuck?
Knocked Loose of that
yeah.
era.
Yeah, so
Just not
what we're
nearly as
saying makes
popular.
Perfect sense.
and it's so weird because like, to me, I want to be like, yo, no, that doesn't matter. If that's what you fuck with, that's cool. I'll tell you that's like, yo, that was kind of lame shit. But you can be like, yeah, cool, old man. Tell me again.
Exactly.
But I mean,
And it doesn't
Biohazard
matter.
was a joke.
Biohazard
Yes.
was a
People are going to be
joke,
saying
right.
the same thing to me about Knock Loose
Right.
in 10 years, and that's fine. I
And
get
that's
it.
fine.
They could be an
And that's
entryway band.
They
That-
are. And
Yeah, I
it's-
hope
and
they
that's-
are.
You hope they are because that means that there's been entry. So fuck.
That's cool, hey.
Hopefully, Terror just gains a million new fans after this.
And they
tour.
will. I mean, that's what they keep doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know how to keep themselves afloat.
So that was your list?
And yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Mind Force, we shouldn't let that go. That's a good band.
That's a very, very
You
good
should
band.
fucking check
Mind Force
that
is
band
awesome,
out.
Yeah. I think that, okay, now maybe you're going to think I'm crazy. I think that a lot of bands are going to end up living in Turnstile's shadow. And I think Mind Force, Misery, some of these bands are going to end up close enough. There's just going to be superficial similarities that make people discount it as less than.
But that's
Sure.
only because of his voice.
Yes,
They
it
sound
is.
like-
It is.
Other than
It,
Yeah.
100%. Because Mind Force to me has a lot of crossover riffs, whereas
Yeah.
Turnstile has like one. You know what I mean? But like, but like, I think that is a detriment at the end of the day
Yeah.
to Mind Force, who are a good band.
But they're not going for the same thing, so it doesn't really matter.
And you
They're gonna end up
can't
playing
help
for the
your
same
voice. You know what I mean?
Do you think they're in the? I mean, like, I feel like Turnstile is so beyond. Like, they're not.
Yeah.
Like, some dude in fucking Hudson Valley is not going to be like, I don't like this shit. It sounds like fucking.
Also, those guys are old too.
Yeah, they're not kids.
No, they're not
Yeah,
kids,
yeah, yeah.
So like they're not trying to sound like Turnstile. He just happens to
No,
sound like him, you know?
listen.
Right, but they're not going to get overlooked because they're not even on the same, like,
They're not going.
They're in
for
a
it.
different
No.
wave, yeah.
Yeah,
But I know what
that's
you
really
mean.
true.
Yeah.
People are going to do that either way, just when things sound
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
You can't hold
All
them
right.
back for it.
I'm going to give my list.
Do it.
Because it's pretty quick.
Okay.
All right.
We have 6 minutes.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
No, no, we
keep going.
we started
roll.
a few
All
minutes
right,
later.
let me
Okay.
just go through a couple. I'm going to go through the easy ones. Power Trip.
Second.
Division of Mind. I didn't put the demo, but I put live because I thought live they slayed. And that's another band where it's like, oh, the demo, I think I listened to it. I was like, this is kind of cool. But live, ooh, great. Day by
Why
day
do you think
live.
that is? Why do you think that some of the younger bands are just not? I mean, good recordings are like available.
No, and I mean, it's not even that. It's just, it's almost like when you go in the studio, some bands capture that energy and some bands don't
they
right
just
away.
tighten up.
And some bands do, like this next one I'm going to talk about. Good segue.
Thank you.
Candy. I thought the demo.
Candy.
I thought the demo was all right, and I know those dudes, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of like I'm pushing for it, but I'm listening to them. I'm like, I'm not. It's not connecting to me. They just did that 7-inch. Candy Says
It's hot.
Oh
Awesome.
my God. I
Hard.
love it. I love it. And I was surprised because it came out and people were talking about it. And like, I got friends telling me, oh, we got to check it out. And I'm like, because the same friends were saying the demo. And I'm like, I love the EP. What do you think?
Undeniably better than the demo.
Yeah.
Those guys were in other bands.
Yep.
And Candy is the band that's like, everything from the past bands, Candy is the one where it all came together. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like some bands have like records where they're trying to figure out their sound, and then they have that one LP. Candy is just that.
Yeah.
Like in band
Like,
form.
those
And
dudes
that's
worked
one
out
of-
the kinks in the other bands. And
Right,
everything.
yeah. So
Exactly.
so Lost Souls, Malfunction. I think
Yeah.
a couple. Yeah,
Right.
and I mean, I thought that band Lost Souls had a couple tracks.
Malfunction was cool.
Yeah,
They're
and-
from Buffalo, right?
No, Lost Souls was Richmond.
It was
Lost Souls
Malfunction.
is Richmond.
Malfunction is Buffalo.
That's
and
what I mean.
Malfunction, and Malfunction had their last LP.
Oh, they were on
was good.
Malfunction.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the band Malfunction.
I was talking about the band Malfunction.
They're from Buffalo.
Malfunction is from Buffalo.
Right.
Lost Souls is
from
from
Richmond.
Richmond,
And
and,
they're-
they kind of combined in Candy.
Oh, weird. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's a cool band. Excited for their LP. Power Trip. I said that. Candy. Civilized. This band's not on any of your guys' list.
Nah.
LP Chopping Block came out on Youth Attack. To me, it sounds crazy. It's sort of like people are talking about Vane and being chaotic and wild. This to me is the punk version of that. It sounds like Youth of Today and Citizens Arrest through Rorschach in a modern day. It just
Weird.
super gnarly. It's from Denver. They broke up. The cover of the record is somebody holding a razor blade on their eye. It's some real
fucking
wild looking
sick.
shit. You should check it out. It's actually fucking a great record. But the band broke up already. It was like the record came out.
You the textile.
Youth Attack Style, and what's crazy is that it was Youth Attack Style meets a legitimately good, like, oh, this is just a good, like, fucking punk hardcore record. Band immediately started catching fire, and I think it just was too much for all those dudes.
I
They just
respect
blew
that.
up.
You respect the breakup? We got to have you back to talk about that.
Go out
I
on
respect
top.
no breakup.
Yeah.
Go
No
out on
breakup.
top,
Well,
Michael
you know
Jordan.
what? They went out on top on the recording, but nobody ever got to see them live. So
That's
I don't know
fucking
if it was
cool,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, it's
They'll
all right.
fucking make 10K in 10 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you headline in
We'll
some
see what that
festival.
says. Exit Order. I think this band is awesome. Seeds of Hysteria, punk band from Boston, female fronted, but it doesn't really matter. Sort of sounds like early '80s Boston meets like Jerry's Kids meets like UK anarcho crust stuff, but it's fucking awesome. Tinny kind of guitars, really like shredding. And you'll see a bunch of people talk about him, but I think that band's awesome. Live show's crazy. Singer's got amazing stage presence. That's my favorite record of the year.
Wow.
Other records, No Warning, Torture Culture.
Hard.
Hard. And now, listen, I do not like No Warning.
I
like
love
straight
No
up,
Warning.
like I might have an axe to grind in that.
Do you?
Well,
Respect.
it's kind of like this. To me and the circle that I was in, that was poser music. You know what I mean? Like,
Those are hardcore.
No,
How?
No, you know what? Because he's going on this. These are these little dudes from Toronto.
Toronto that
playing
are aping
hard.
New York
Right.
hardcore.
Yes,
Yes.
it was poser music.
Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, it was poser music.
If they were from Albany, you would have been on it like white.
Of course,
dude.
of course. But here's the thing: like, it was just not. It was cool for the rest of the country. Wasn't cool for my circle for whatever reason, and we understood it was big. You know what I mean?
Well, no. Here's the big myth. Yo, they were big, but not really. The biggest
No.
show they played was like Posse Numbers Fest, and that's probably to 400 or 500 people.
And that hit but that hit YouTube, and people
Yeah,
were like,
Right
what
now,
the
people
fuck?
see that.
Like,
But you know, they're playing most of their shows on that like Ill Blood record. They played one big show at CB's, like Reach the Sky or something, and that's it.
you know what? It's
and
probably
that's
a lot
it.
of
They played,
talk
like, the
after.
Madball
There's a lot of
reunions.
talk
Huge.
after.
That Ill Blood
A lot of
record
talk
really
after.
stood the test of time. And just to this record, I think those dudes hadn't written a No Warning record in 14-something years. Came out. It sounds like their band, but it's evolved a little bit. Still hard, but not aping the sound of right now, which I think they could have done or tried to do to be like, oh, we're hip with it. No, they just wrote their own record, and I think it's cool. I hope they do more, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it even connects with younger dudes.
I'm guessing no.
The record or the band?
Both.
both. Yeah.
I love No Warning. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think the record's okay. It sounds like they all got way better at their instruments.
Sure.
And what you said is right. They could have just tried to write music for people my age, but they were just like, let's just write a hardcore record.
Yeah.
And they got like crazy solos and singing in there and shit, and it's cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Secret of that band is they all were super talented musicians all the way from day one.
Playing hardcore.
Yeah, and I mean, they were an easy band to dislike. Like they were an
Yeah,
easy
they-
band.
they had
These
the
were
vi-
the
they had a
dudes.
bad vibe.
These were the dudes who were like had a bad reputation for ripping kids off for record trades and kind of came onto the stage with a big chip on their shoulder and a swagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like
But-
Cameron for fucking
For that
fucking
time
hardcore.
period.
Yeah.
But you know what? They did it right, and that Ill Blood record is undeniable. I wanted
Yeah.
to not like that. but I couldn't not like it. And props to them. I've known those dudes for a long time. But if this record sucked, I would have been like, oh, not surprised.
And I think we expected it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
they
those dudes are
never
my
really-
age, and if you're
yeah.
writing a hardcore record when you're in your mid 30s, I'm not saying that's going to be a great thing right out of the gate.
No.
But they never went away. They were all still sort of involved
They were
in
all
punk and hardcore.
they were all in different ways, but in really different ways. The singer was doing a couple bands who I thought were really good. This Marvelous Darlings, who was
It's like a
power pop.
Yeah, great.
Young Governor, kind of lo-fi, sort of punky.
You'd like the Marvelous Darlings, right?
Marvelous Darlings, you might like.
It's good.
He did this band.
He fucked up too.
He was in
Fucked Up.
Yeah, Fucked Up.
I think he's still in Fucked Up. He did this one band with some people from Brooklyn that had just this banging song. I wish I could remember the name of it. But yeah, I mean, so different from No Warning, and to be able to come back, I think that was impressive. All right, let me see if there's anything else.
I just think it was hard. Like it's
dirty.
The
Filthy.
songs don't stand out to me in a way. I'm on a tear lately where I need songs. You know what I mean? Like I just give me a song, give me something memorable. Like I just heard that Total Control record,
Yep.
really good, but like. It's not meant to be songs. It's not meant to be a thing that you revisit. It's just very interesting and enjoyable. But I'm at this moment, and this changes, but this moment, give me a song that I can hit repeat on. Give me
Yeah.
something that I can feel pumped up about. And No Warning didn't do that necessarily with this record, but it is hard.
Yeah.
It is undeniably hard.
All right, so last two real quick. Enforced Retaliation. I think it's a demo. It's on Bandcamp, 3 songs. All the love that were thrown out for Power Trip. If you guys haven't heard it, it's Richmond. I think it's dudes from Division of Mind. I think it's dudes from Red Death, some other shit. I don't know any of those guys personally, but I think that's the best thing coming out of Richmond right
good
now.
live. Cool.
Really, and those 3 songs. I think they did something before. Those 3 songs, bang, thrashy but hard. And the other, and this is again the opposite axe to grind. Crust, Paradise and Brick. I gotta say, I love it. It's my friends, and it's its own thing. It's like skate punk hardcore.
That's
thing.
crotch to grind.
Yeah, right. But those are my friends, and I love what they're doing because it's different from a lot of other stuff going on. Even in their world, in their circle of friends, it sounds different. So I hope they keep going with that shit. Into it.
I'll do mine real quick. The Code Orange record makes my list. I'm going to give some love to Full of Hell. Same situation as No Warning, where I'm not hitting back necessarily, but when I listen straight through, I'm impressed with what they've managed.
That's
You know?
that new record.
That's that
With
new
the,
record.
Ecstasy something.
Yes, yeah.
Like the
it's
Nun on Fire?
The Nun
Yes.
on Fire.
Got it.
Great visual to that. Also, like I got to give it to. I think that's a Mark McCoy joint.
Yes.
And he killed it with that.
Really cool. You just fuck with Full of Hell at all?
I've checked them out before. I
Listen-
wear a hoodie all the time.
Listen to the new record. Legitimately,
It's like grind, right?
Yeah, it's like grindcore, right?
no, it's.
I mean, honestly, I think it's like if you call them grind, you could just call Code Orange. Oh, they're just some metalcore band. Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
check it out.
There's some interesting choices, and they're not trying to just be a thing. And I think that that's actually what we can give to Code Orange, what we can give to Full of Hell, and what we can give to Turnstile is old dudes came out to the shows that we just did with Turnstile, and they had heard a Turnstile song or two, but they would sit in the green room and be like, oh, that's a Leeway riff, or oh, that's a Bad Brains riff, or that's and because they were IDing a lot of things going on. That's not a knock against Turnstile. That's, I think, the main reason Turnstile, the main reason Code Orange, and the main reason Full of Hell work is because it's not in any specific mold. For convenience, we can say disembodied. You know what I mean, for Code Orange, but it's just for convenience. What you're really doing is borrowing from so many things that you become your own thing at some point.
Right. Yeah.
So Power Trip is on there,
yeah.
and that's not my type of music, but that won me over. I was not any sort of Power Trip fan before this record. I really think this record is in a class by itself. That Candy record makes mine because it's just so dirty, and it's on its way to being a noisecore band, which I think we would all be grateful for. You know what I mean? Like, I think that that's on its way out of hardcore into something grosser visually. It's there. It's there's a lot to it.
What does the Candy LP sound like? What do you think it's going to sound like?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
The imagery they have and like the lyrics that Zach writes and the song titles they have is it's a culmination of a lot of like just different juxtapositions. Like the album art is fucking crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's
It's like-
was pretty controversial,
It's a
right?
provocation. It's
Right.
like, and I need that so bad. Everything is so fucking boring. Give me a provocation. Fucking stick something underneath my fingernail. You know what I mean? Like fucking torture me.
What was
Make-
the deal with it? It was like a rape scene or something?
No,
Like
no,
something
No,
fucked
no,
up?
it's,
It's
a
a-
dude giving a girl head by a
It's like
dumpster.
scary
It's
looking
totally
guy
cool.
Oh,
going
okay.
down on a girl.
Mike
But people
Body.
have
Yeah, some people hate sex though.
twisted.
Okay.
and
Oh, I
turned
thought it
it.
was like some kind of like rapey thing.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
people were
no.
feeling.
No.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like that's like all of a sudden like
Yeah.
fucking
No,
Twitter was
people-
like on fire because
people
like
have
these
been
dudes.
saying that,
All right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
oral
it's near a
sex is-
fucking
Yeah.
near a
not-
fucking.
These people need to get on the oral sex track, man.
That's
But
what
near
it
like a
is. They don't know-
dumpster, like
they
I
don't-
get like people might be like, well,
It's just a very grimy looking thing.
yeah, like why don't you just go home?
That Hangman.
Hard.
Yo, that came out of nowhere from me. I only got clued into it because of the Brian thing,
Which is perfect.
and it dragged me in. And that's a hard record. The Detain record. That's a self plug because I put it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't do that shit.
Listen, I put it out because I like it. That band is.
Sell me on Detain. Come on.
I'll fight you on it.
You'll fight me on Detain?
Come on, say it.
Holy
say it, Seb.
shit!
Say it, it sucks.
Listen,
Well, you can go ahead.
Detain is dudes that work at State Farm but love Cold as Life, and it is it is.
sucks.
Yo, Seb, this is where you gotta say, yo, you got beat up by people who like fucking
No,
State
listen.
Farm.
It is like smart kids, like on their way to being real musician dudes who just love idiot shit, and I respect that because that's where I'm at in life. Where like if you can give me convincing idiot shit, I'll take it over the smart shit.
And then why don't you just listen to like Irate, dude?
But we can do that
Also,
for any
you
band.
can't call that shit idiot shit.
we
That
can
shit
do
is
that.
Literally,
we can't
genius.
call irate idiot shit.
Dude, are you dude?
Hold on,
Listen-
Tom. Is it idiot shit? Help me
Listen
out.
to 1134. That shit is like fucking insane, man.
Listen.
Irate, it's fucking incredible.
But is it for? But is it for idiots?
No, dude.
Seb's like, I'm a fucking smart dude. I like irate. Yeah.
Listen, I love all this shit.
Yeah, but like, dude, Detain just is like, I feel also with that very tiny group of bands like Irate, Terror Ave, 1 Second Thought, all that shit. Like, I have like a very like they're so.
Is
near
Billy Club
to my
Sandwich in
heart.
there?
Billy Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo,
See,
so
so-
this is some
It's-
like yo, like
it's
you
fucking
guys all were
personal to
very
me,
quiet, like with Crust, because you know none of y'all fuck with it, but it's like oh, we know that's like his homies. Like this is
Yeah,
some heartwarming shit for Seb. He's like
not even-
tearing up
like,
a
I'm
little
not
bit.
even,
He's
like,
like
dudes
tearing
are
up
in
a
their
little bit.
fucking 40s.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna talk about Billy Club Sandwich, but like it's true. It can see your heart pounding.
No, but
shit.
but
Oh
you're
my God.
what you're telling me is that you're a formalist. You want the classic or
I
nothing.
want them to play that, or I want some motherfuckers from Queens to play that shit.
Oh, it's a legitimacy thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Are they
Grind,
from Detroit?
axe grind.
Fuck that.
I
That's
don't
an
think
axe
it's
to
that
grind.
good. And you can't even say those niggas are from Detroit because they're not.
No, they're from Ann Arbor, but
Come on!
They
That's
say
like-
they say they're Detroit hardcore.
where are you going to play? What are you going to say? I'm Ann Arbor.
Just
Listen,
Michigan. Claim.
Oh, come
went-
on.
right.
Mitt,
I'm not
the
out here
Mitt,
saying
Mitt
that.
hardcore.
If the only
University
place-
of Michigan hardcore. That's what the fuck that is.
If the only place you
Wolverine
can play,
softball.
if the only place that there's good shows are Detroit, listen. Half these bands that we talk about, classic ass bands, were Long Island or Connecticut ass bands.
Yeah, man. Long Island
But they all
hardcore,
claim
that's
New York because that was the only
Props to
place to
regulate.
play.
I don't know if they do.
What's that?
What are the classic Long Island bands that claim New York?
None of them.
No.
Neglect.
No,
didn't.
Neglect didn't. Sure. but-
Crumb Suckers didn't.
VOD,
Where were you
never.
from? You were a New York band that was
Brooklyn.
played Long Island every
Yeah, we
weekend.
did well in Long Island,
Okay,
but we're
all
from
right,
Brooklyn.
But
Same sandbar,
listen,
same shit.
listen.
Detain just isn't for me. I don't want to say they're not legit. Obviously, what you said about them playing their instruments is right. They're good at the instruments.
they're getting fucking good.
Yeah, but
Can we go back to his
It's
sea
just-
level New York hardcore shit?
Yeah, that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you.
level?
He,
Not irate.
Yeah.
I rated my dudes, and
no, but Billy
they
Club
should be
Sandwich.
huge.
Billy
feel
Club
like-
Sandwich. There's no defending.
I feel like I saw
Also
Irate-
my dudes,
I
but
feel like I saw Irate in 2000 in
brain is
Queens,
bleeding.
and it was like one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I'm not gonna say good, bad, indifferent.
if they came
It was
back
just
right
wild.
now,
they
it would be
the
ridiculous.
Way
They
bigger.
never toured.
Nope.
They did Europe
Nope.
and stuff like this. But there's bands in like Texas that have like tribute shirts to them and all this sort of shit. Like,
fucking bullshit.
and I talked to that's a whole nother story.
This is a local axe to grind. I'm not validating this.
Axe
the,
to
the
grind.
Detain record is good. The next one is going to be off the fucking chain.
Hold on, a quick read.
won't see me
Harm
that
Reduction
good.
Records, 2018. Detain. Please check us out.
Yes.
Are you Harm Reduction?
Yeah, 2 songs from Detain in 2018 that are going to blow people's dicks right off. They're going to be
Keep
flying in the
hating,
wind.
Seb.
I'll
Keep
listen.
going.
So
Keep hating.
I don't like it.
so you
I'll
are
listen, but I won't like
you
it.
are gonna love it. So, okay, next up, did we already say Code Orange? It's
Yeah.
on mine. Now we're gonna drop in a record that I haven't heard anybody talk about. That Axis record is
Hard.
fucking great.
I didn't even know they put out new music.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that they're on a label that
Good Fight?
Good Fight.
Yeah, Good Fight. Yeah.
It's not, strictly speaking, it's not a label. So it is being overlooked. They are the type of band that is easy to overlook because they're playing a throwback style that kids say they're into metalcore, but not the type that Axis is currently playing.
It's big brain metalcore.
Now, I want Axis to become the Unsane of that scene, where they just do it for so long and acquire respect, and respect eventually leads to
People liking your
yes,
band. Yeah.
right. That's what I want from them. This record, if people actually take the time and hear it, it is some of the best played hardcore music of the year, and is really, it is exceptional. I did not expect this much from it, and I was really blown away.
People on Long Island love them.
It is fucking good. We got to have you back for a Long Island episode where we talk about we got to get Jukai to jump off. We got to get get a lot of these bands to next level up because they're ready. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up, but let's wrap up with. And sorry to everybody listening, we went a little long on our lists. The format of this show isn't going to typically be lists, although we'll get into that. We're going to do our best New York hardcore. We're going to do our best. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
We bringing Seb back down?
He's too opiniated, man.
I like that
He's
shit.
vicious on the fucking
Seb's going to get
comments.
familiar with you guys so we can chew on you a little bit.
So I'm going to ask, some of you don't give a fuck about these bands, so you can throw in your little axes if you need to. But I want your predictions for 2018. Twitching Tongues.
I hope they have a fucking. I love that band.
There's a new LP coming out in
I
2018.
hope it's fucking spectacular because I love them.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, we got two. What do you expect? What do you want? What do you expect?
I expect a return to form.
Hope so.
Yeah, after the last record?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's the opposite of an axe to grind when I just say these are my homies? They know that last record was for their ears only. You know what I mean? Like, they're aware. It's not like you'd be shocking them if you hit them with, yeah, I love your band, but that last one, they get it. And I don't think that they're trying to please every motherfucker on the planet with the new one, but I agree, Return to Form is...
What'd you think when you heard that last one?
I heard Disharmony. I saw a video that they posted of them playing Disharmony in Europe, and I thought the song was fucking crazy. I was like, if the whole record is like this, like Marauder riffs and like Sepultura riffs, it'll be fucking awesome. But then I listened to the record and I was just let down. It sucks because I've liked that band for a long time, and I was waiting for them to just blow up and be fucking arena band, you know, but still a hardcore band. But yeah, hopefully you're right, and they go back to what got them to this point.
Yep.
Harm's Way.
I like the record with the pig on it,
Okay.
and that's about it.
What's your expectation? What do you think is going to happen?
That one, the song that I just heard was actually the best thing I'd ever heard by them. I find it kind of boring.
Okay, so my beef with Harm's Way is that it's heavy for heavy's sake. There's not songs there yet.
Yeah.
And there's nothing memorable. You can listen to
That's
the
what
same.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
I need songs, and they haven't provided that in a couple records for me. But my hope is that this new one. I haven't heard this new one. It's not out yet, but
that one song that they released was cool.
it was cool, but
liked
still not enough song. I want song, and we're gonna have to talk about the singles that bands are choosing to release, because I don't think that Harm's Way song is the single. I don't think that's not it. You know what I mean? It's a fine song, nothing wrong with it, but that's not it. Turnstile, we could talk about that too. What's our expectation for Turnstile?
It's wild. I mean, don't know. I mean, honestly.
Do you have insider info? What is that?
No. It's that Turnstile for me, live, insane, amazing energy. Listen, probably like 5-6 tracks. I'm like, this is really cool. This has got its own thing going on. And then they dropped that first song, Generator, and I really vibed on it. I really liked it. And I was like, oh, shit.
Wait, is that the second song or the first song?
It's the first song.
First one from this new.
First one. Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay.
I really liked it. But I don't know what that says. If a fucking 36
Oh
year
no,
old
it's the second song.
Second song is
what was the
Generator.
first song?
They put out that weird video for it.
The one that, like-
Generator
Yes,
is a Spotify song.
Okay, what's the first song? The first song, it was
forget.
whatever the first song was. And Generator was fine, but I almost feel like that was the play, like, oh shit, we're going to hit them with this first song that's a little weird, a little different, but it's not, like, different. I think those dudes wrote that record, took their time, and I'm just curious because it's been a minute since.
Do you think they took
the
too
first
long?
record. No.
No,
I think
people have heard the record and they said it's like amazing.
Yeah,
Like, out of this
that's
world.
what I've heard too. You know,
So-
Talented dudes, obviously.
So I don't think that Generator is the single.
that's the second song, right?
That's the second song.
Yeah, I don't think so. Either.
First song,
I think it was safe.
First song I thought was good, not great. And then I saw it live, and live it fucking kills. So I'm with that. And maybe Generator can do the same thing. Here's what I think is interesting. My girl is in Seb's age range, and she heard the new Generator for the first time and has listened to nothing but it. Thinks it is a fucking hit. And that's, to me, it's not that. That's not the single.
What
But
do you? Seb?
I've listened to it a couple of times, and Turnstile is probably my favorite current band, easily.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting more. So while I think the song is good, I know there's going to be more to it.
Yeah.
And
What do you think of the first song released?
I thought it was good. I think the video helps add to it.
Yeah.
I think Generator is a better song though.
oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's
No,
crazy to me.
That's the part.
You-
And I vibed, and another dude who's in our age range was like, "Yeah, that song's banging," and I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Right.
I think it's gonna have a broad appeal, and it's just gonna be curious how broad that appeal
It's
is.
going to be a huge record for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. So there's a ton of sort of honorable mentions, but it would take too long to get into them. We really got to address the Trapped Under Ice record at some point because I feel like that was really divisive for a
Didn't
lot
make
of people.
anybody's list,
It didn't make our lists.
but I didn't hate it, and I don't. You know what I mean? I wasn't reared on Trapped Under Ice in my formative years, so
No,
Demo
but-
comes out, I'm like, man, game changer, great. 7-inch comes out, man, great. Secrets of the World, I'm like, oh, there's a couple songs on this I like.
Yeah.
Big Kiss Goodnight. I've heard that that's even better. I haven't really dug on that.
it's
People love it. Right?
yeah.
right.
Listen.
People love it.
Yeah.
And then the new record, though, I'm like, oh, let me check it out. And I'm like, oh. And some people are decrying, like, oh, it just sounds like Turnstile and Angel Dust. I'm like, okay. And?
Right. Well, here's the problem. Right? Is I think that while everybody likes Angel Dust and everybody likes Turnstile, when the name Trapped Under Ice is out there, you want something else.
You go to something. You go to them for a particular thing
Yeah, and
that they didn't bring.
and which they didn't bring. And like as a dude that plays music, the most respect. I love
the fuck you want,
whenever you defy expectations, you turn me on. I love that shit. However, the listener response, you got to measure for that. You got to be ready for that, which is like, hey man, I came to McDonald's for a burger, not fish. Well, I guess they do fish fillet. I don't know enough about McDonald's. No, hot dog, right? So that's its own fucking episode. We're gonna wrap this up. Seb, thank you for being our guest today.
Thanks
Thanks for having me.
Quick thing. Let's talk Regulate. What do you got coming up? Go, do it.
We don't know when
got-
this will be out, so you can like
No,
talk
we
in
know
the
it's
future.
going to be out when we're recording it with Dean, who did the Backtrack record. He did Ill Blood.
Dean
He
Atomic.
did That Promise LP.
Where is he now? New
He's
Hampshire.
in New Hampshire, Maine. Portsmouth.
that
Maine.
LP
For the old dudes, Dean from
No.
Wrecking Crew. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't respect that LP.
The Promise EP, LP.
No, stop.
That EP is
Don't
whole.
dig in. We'll
yeah.
do another episode.
Yeah, you're stupid for that. That's it. We got some. We're playing. I don't know if the show's announced. I don't think I want to announce this show yet, but we're playing in March at the Bazaar.
Nice.
It'll be a good show.
Who are you playing with?
I don't want to announce it yet.
This won't be out for
Are you
like
going to be
6
touring
months.
this
so it's
summer?
cool.
Oh, really?
I was gonna put out.
Oh,
this
who
week.
knows?
Are you going to be touring this summer?
Hopefully, I
On a
want
new
to
LP?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully with Vane.
Hit him up, Vane. All right. Thank you very much for being our guest.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This was Axe to Grind. Does anybody have any ats? We're not like a big at group of human beings.
You got like 10,000 followers or something.
I don't like to be
ridiculous.
added though.
Let's just,
Don't at me, bro.
Listen, and then if enough of you listen, we'll make a
We'll create a Twitter.
thing.
Yeah. That's the way. And expect the follow up to this to be in 2 weeks because we just shot our load. This is a lot of info for you, but format's going to be generally what you hear today, and we hope you like it. Axe to Grind 2018. Whoop whoop.
All right, nobody move.
You got good?
Thank you so much.